Welcome to Entertainment Thursday, today being the 29th of January 2026. From where are you watching? KBC Channel 1. This is Good Morning Kenya, and as always, Thursday is the new Friday. Today we get to get in a personal space. We get to elevate your feel good. My name is Mike Migui, and a lot has been prepared for you to make sure that your morning is excellent, to make your morning more entertaining, more interesting. You know, Thursdays being the new Fridays or the eve towards the weekend, you know, lazima uweke mipango kabambe, and one of the things that you need to get ready with is, especially now when it comes to this program, is matters to do with dancing, and DJ is in the building. DJ Unique. Yes. Habari ya leo?
Mambo fresh. Kama kawa, kama dawa. You are here today.
Yes.
Musemanga anytime unaniona kwa screen unajonga tu ni ile tu time ya kupati.
Na kwani leo nini umeprepare?
Sherehe ya leo.
Yes.
Live on your screen.
Yes.
Today is the last Thursday
of January actually.
Yes.
Yes.
So, na unajua nini tunafanyanga kila last Thursday?
Yes.
Ya month.
Yes.
Old school.
TBT.
TBT maze. Nimewapangia TBT zingine kali sana, all genre, kila mahali. So today keep it locked kabisa. Yes. Na tukimaliza hii show, make sure umeenda kumeza brufen.
You know, umesema it's the last Thursday of January, and Ray said January umepeleka aje Ray?
Funny enough, 2026 ninaona ni kama inatupeleka mbio. Too fast, we're trying to catch up.
Yes.
But I, for one, am happy that January is over.
Yeah.
And I think also it emanates from the fact that how well prepared were you for the year, you know?
Yeah.
And talking about preparations, I also want to bring you to speed that there's a planned strike by PSVs on the 2nd. Why? They're protesting against touching of buses, matatus if you like, and other vehicles by boda riders.
Yeah.
Right? And I was just looking at, you know, legislation. You know, first of all, that is destruction of property, which is unlawful. Secondly, I think, in my opinion, we're getting enculturated that the boda, you know, sector is ungovernable. But in countries like Brazil, you know, the government went out of its way and gave the green light for motorists to actually defend themselves against riders, so to speak. So when that happened, it rained in on rogue operators. We're not saying all of them are rogue, but a majority are. Because what justification do they have, you know, to harass motorists? And I also have a question: what happened to the planned formalization of the boda sector, including having them register for insurance for themselves as well as their opinion passengers or passengers? Did it happen? No. This was a suggestion before the 2022 general elections. Right now, thieves, criminals are using bodas as getaway modes of transport, you know, from the scene. What remains inherently in my mind, Mike and DJ, is, I don't know if you remember the incident across, or rather along Forest Road, that involved a diplomat from Zambia. Do you remember that? The lady who got into an altercation and boda operators went further to sexually assault her in broad daylight. Do you remember that incident?
Yes.
Yeah, true.
It remains etched in my mind. So, according to the Matatu Operators Association there, they have given notice of a national-wide outage of public service vehicle services come the 2nd of February in protest of what is happening in as far as boda operators are concerned in the country. Can I pick your brain maybe for 30 seconds each? What do you think about how we are handling the boda situation in the country? Let's start off with you, Mike.
You know, when it comes to whatever you've said, and the boda sector being ungovernable, I think it's a matter of perception. Because people think once boda coalesce around something, wherever, even if it's legal or illegal, no one can take steps that are in line with the law with them. But then again, changing that perception will take a lot of effort to ensure that whatever happens on the roads, and even adhering to traffic rules is something that is taken seriously. A lot needs to happen within that sector. Not saying that it's not a matter of generalizing. Yes, we have great riders within town, but then again, a few elements who have labeled the boda sector as ungovernable can be dealt with if there is goodwill. If there is goodwill. Yes.
Let's hear from Nick, the DJ. Yes. What's your take in regard to, the boda sector? Is it ungovernable or a lack of willingness to tame the rogue operators within this particular niche sector?
I think, according to me, maybe actually, I think we don't have the rules that govern the boda section. That's the reason why anytime such scenario that will happen, all bodas or every person that in boda section will just decide to take the rules in their own hands. Mm-hmm. So that thing, I think that we need to have that rules that will regulate, and they really need to implement it seriously, in a serious way, so that they can actually regulate that scenario that always happen. Na zimekuwa mingi sana, by the way.
Hey, one time unasikia gari zimegongana, sijui mtu wa pikipiki amegongwa ama mtu wa pikipiki amegonga mtu, and then again unasikia gari zimechoma. You find out some riders within the boda sector are the ones
who are on the wrong.
Exactly.
Yeah, actually I've been driving for so many times, but anytime naonanga boda ameingia wanakongana mistakes mob sana kwa barabara,
no, and then still of traffic rules.
Yeah.
I think it's unanimous, and I don't know what you have to say as a viewer. Do you think that the government has done enough to rein in, on rogue boda operators in the country? Because as they say, no one can operate outside the law. There are laws that govern how things are done, but is the sector going rogue, and we have the capacity to rein in on that because it is a looming crisis. Now, according to the Matatu Association, Matatu Operators Association, they're going to be holding our national-wide protest. That is a strike come February 2nd to protest what they call bad behavior, unlawful behavior from boda operators who end up touching vehicles, both PSV as well as personal vehicles, in the event that they are involved in an accident, instead of waiting for due process, just like all other motorists are required to in the event that there is a road accident there. So are boda operators, not regulated, and are they cushioned by the law, or what is happening in that particular sector? What is your take? Get us on X at KBC Channel 1 to just, what is your take in regard to reining in on rogue operators there, since it appears to be a crisis in waiting? And a rhetoric question before I take our first update in as far as news is concerned. How much do you think a student has to pay for their education from grade 1 or PP1, so to speak, all the way to college or university? Do you have a rough figure? Mike, quickly, do you have a rough figure?
Not really. I've actually never.
DJ, do you have a rough estimate as how much it would cost?
From
all the way from PP1 all the way to university. You can either say either public, in the public school system, or even in private. Let's go with public because education is not devolved, it's within the national government. Do you have a rough estimate?
Maybe 50,000.
50,000?
50,000 is a, hey,
from PP1 all the way to university.
No, it should be in the hundreds.
It should be in the millions.
Millions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because for medicine, let's, for example, until the latest review, a semester was taking 300,000 for medicine. Yeah, and that's a person who's supposed to be in school for around how many years? 6? Huh?
Yes. 6 years,
yeah, thereabout. So you're talking in the millions, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, you are, I think, within the same scope because even government doesn't know. And we start off on that particular note. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba says the Ministry of Education is yet to conduct an actuarial analysis to determine the actual amount needed to educate a child from grade 1 all the way to university. The CS was responding to concerns by legislators on the high cost of education. Speaking at the legislators' retreat in Naivasha, Dr. Ogamba, however, said the government has capped school fees to tame illegal increases.
The second day of the legislative retreat began with a heated debate over the quality of education and the complexities involved in the implementation of the competency-based education. Education Cabinet Secretary Julius Ogamba was hard-pressed to explain why it is becoming expensive to educate Kenyan children.
What makes a child of grade 7 require so much more than one of grade 6, yet they are actually in the same institution?
We actually, as a country, do not know how much it costs to educate a child from grade 1 all the way to university.
The MPs demanded that the government announce the exact fees payable in the clusters.
Kuta hii ni 20,000, hii ni 30, hii ni 40, some schools are even 80,000. So we don't know when you say the fees has not changed. According to you, what is the fees?
What is payable by parents is boarding fee. And the boarding fee in the C1 schools is 53,535 per year. In the rest of the boarding schools, it is 40,435.
Ogamba defended the Minister of Education, citing underfunding as a major stumbling block to the effective running of basic education.
What you allocated and what Treasury allocated for primary is 7 billion instead of 9. For junior is 28 billion instead of 49. And for senior school is 51 billion instead of 76.
The lawmakers decried the introduction of illegal levies in schools, accusing head teachers and county education officers of colluding to burden parents.
Mzazi amelipa karo yote ya shule, lakini mwalimu mkuu na wale wanaohusika pale shule wanafukuza watoto kila uchao, warudi nyumbani hawasomi. Unatarajia vipi hawa watoto wapite mitihani yao?
And our suggestion is that we criminalize failure by the officers to enforce the policies and regulations of the ministry.
The lawmakers are demanding better management of the education sector, including the shake-up of the education ministry.
You have the most clueless PS in the Ministry of Education. Most clueless. He only sits in Nairobi and has no idea what goes on the ground.
Despite the mounting pressure, the ministry insists that the admission of grade 10 learners is well on course, with 96% of learners having already joined senior school. I am Edward Kabasa.
That particular news beat has elicited a lot of debate in social media, with some parents and guardians questioning even the need to motivate, teachers, yet they are paid directly by TSC. And the question is, who motivates you to go to work or to your respective workstation? Is it the high time that government just reined in, especially on rogue principals and head teachers there who arbitrarily introduce, other forms of payments, such as motivation, as well as increasing boarding fee for those who are boarding? What is your take in regard to that? Remember that this is currently happening down in Naivasha as members of parliament are engaging down there. Get on X, what is your take in regard to that particular statement by the government, saying that it is to take up an actuarial audit to determine exactly how much It costs to educate a child all the way from, grade 1 or PP1, if you like, all the way to university or rather tertiary institution. Get tweeting on X at KBC Channel 1. Now we cross over to health, where the Ministry of Health has closed 1,118 healthcare facilities across the country that have defrauded public funds through the Social Health Authority SHA system. This is according to Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale, who briefed members of Parliament at the 2026 legislative retreat in Naivasha, Nakuru County. His remarks comes after it emerged that 11 billion shillings were siphoned through the SHA system between October 2024 and April 2025 through fake claims and procedural surgeries, ghost patients and collusion.
At the 2026 legislative retreat in Naivasha, Nakuru County, Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale said that despite strides in streamlining the Social Health Authority, some rogue facilities were still committing fraud.
We have so far closed 1,118, and we are keeping on closing more. Because some of them, they call themselves level 4, they're in a very dingy place.
Duale, however, said that notable gains have been made in the war against corruption.
Two of the former CEO of SHA are before court. A number of staff of SHA are before court. A number of owners of facilities are before court. 25 doctors, SHA has withdrawn their rights.
The Health Cabinet Secretary also raised concerns over fraud by a section of facilities, claiming more for deliveries through the cesarean section.
Because C-section is complicated for us. It's a surgery in the theater. It's 30,000 reimbursement, but normal delivery is 10. And because of greed, it's a social problem. Somebody wants to force a mother to a C-section when she can do normal delivery.
And the ministry should be able to crack down to ensure that any CS can be accounted for. What was the need for that cesarean section?
On SHA enrollment, he said 29 million Kenyans had been onboarded, over 130 billion shillings collected, and 93.3 billion shillings disbursed to healthcare facilities for services offered. Duale said that since the introduction of the Lipa SHA Pole Pole in 2025, 412,011 active members have been enrolled, with 1.4 billion shillings having been contributed.
It's no longer an issue of, SHA is not working generally. It's not a communal issue anymore. About 6 months ago, you couldn't talk about SHA in public. Nowadays, any person that approaches you says, SHA paid this amount of money. I wish it paid this. So clearly SHA is working.
As I said, that particular news bit also has elicited a lot of debate on social media platforms. Maybe I can just take two responses there and also give you a room to also comment on the same. We have at Willis Evans Otieno, who says they disbanded NHIF under the pretext of fighting theft and fake claims, selling SHA as a cure for corruption, but the truth is simpler and uglier. They did not want to stop the eating, they wanted to change the table. SHA has never been about protecting public money, it was about resetting the system so that new hands could be dipped into it with clear excuses and bigger appetite. Same theft, new logo, same greed, fresh paperwork. That is Evans Otieno there. Then also, George Njoroge says, I thought the whole justification for doing away with NHIF was to end this exact corruption madness. Yet we are here again now, 11 billion looted from SHA via fake claims and inflated bills by private hospitals. However, Cornelius Rono has a differing opinion, who says, I challenge anyone to identify a Kenyan who benefited from NHIF. SHA now under 1 year old has accomplished more than NHIF did in over 60 years. SHA is not merely an idea, it is a reality. What is your take? Now we cross over to the counties where a section of frustrated parents whose children are yet to join grade 10 due to lack of school fee is calling on the government to offer free education to realize their 100% transition goal to senior secondary school. They say the president's directive to school heads to admit children without school fees and uniforms has not worked for them. Here's a recap.
Speaking when they gathered at Dandora Community Park to try to find a solution to their problems, the frustrated parents said they have tried to take their kids to school without school fees or uniforms as per presidential directive, but all in vain.
For now, kwa sababu it's an urgent need, the government can waiver the fee. If ya sahi, government iwaiver for this term, na mzazi akayakijua kila anaanza kujipanga ni kuanzia next term.
Meanwhile, Mumbi Primary School in Nyandarua has benefited from learning facilities worth 69 million shillings, courtesy of Safaricom Foundation.
Tuna 16 classrooms, ya kutoka ECD mpaka class grade 9, ya. Tuna multi-purpose hall.
Over the years, the enrollment increased steadily, stretching our facilities and resources. The need for proper infrastructure became urgent.
Ujauzito unaifikiria ni nini?
Elsewhere, a section of men from Budalangi constituency of Busia County has received training on supporting their expectant wives. The training by Child Fund Organization intends to reduce neonatal deaths and promote family bonding.
Saizi wanawapeleka kina mama hospitali, wanahakikisha ya kuwa huyu mama katika hali yake, hii safari yake miezi 9 anatembea na yeye.
In Busia, the locals have been eyed to curb rising cases of child labor that have rendered 6 in every 10 children vulnerable. Finally, Gender and Culture Cabinet Secretary Anna Wendot Cheptumo has launched the Kisumu County Children's Assembly to grant children space to express their feelings on topical issues in the country. Similar assemblies have been launched in Samburu and Kitui counties.
We'll continue keeping tabs on that. Now we cross over to matters business, where Kenya's debt hit 11.8 trillion shillings as of June 2025, with domestic debt ballooning to 6.3 trillion shillings and 5.5 trillion shillings borrowed externally. Director General of Public Debt Management, Raphael Otieno, says the government is seeking credit at lower interest rates to force lenders to lower interest rates and increase private lending. Well, I was capturing that bit, and this is the report.
Debt service continued to consume a large share of ordinary revenue during the financial year 2024-2025, reaching 1.7 trillion shillings.
We've been complaining that our debt has been growing, but no one is talking about our expenditures and our revenues. So basically, this is the outlook for our medium-term debt. It is going to grow from 7.8%, actually with a decline to 57% by 2028-29.
Kenya's debt to GDP ratio oscillates between 67 and 68%, which means that for every 100 shillings produced by the economy, 68 shillings goes towards debt servicing.
1.1 is bilateral, which is about 24.3%, and then the commercial is about 1.3. Out of that, 1 trillion is Eurobond. So we are only having about 300 billion in terms of other commercial, which includes the syndicated loans or the commercial that comes directly from other commercial banks.
Over the period, domestic debt increased 12% by 1.2 trillion shillings. The government now says it will continue offering government paper at a lower interest rate to reduce external borrowing and protect against currency fluctuation that increases debt value.
You will see the National Treasury undertaking operations such as the debt swaps, which essentially our aim will be to issue instruments at lower interest costs and use those instruments to take out the debt instruments that are very costly.
To cushion the private sector from government debt appetite and high interest rates, lenders are proposing a review of the pay-as-you-earn tax band from 24,000 shillings to 30,000 shillings to increase purchasing power and money circulation.
We need to get more people paying taxes. There are a lot of people doing business, using government resources, but they are not giving their contribution. There are a lot of rich people evading taxes, and those are the ones that have filled the banks the liquidity that Raymond talked about belongs to only a few people.
Some of the recommendations therein from various players within this particular industry include that government ensuring that we have a vibrant economy to stay afloat, ensuring that also government generates revenue, and also having government pay pending bills to ensure that especially manufacturers have their purchase power going forward. If this indeed will come to pass, well, time will tell, and we'll be here for it. For now, I'm Regina Manyara reporting for KBC Channel 1 from Nairobi.
Well, that report was made public sometime last week, and yesterday stakeholders were seated there just reading and perusing through that particular report, with where it emerged that the Kenya Bankers Association is pushing for a review of the pay-as-you-earn tax band. That means that if indeed this particular proposal is taken through, it means that PAYE, where it is charged, tax on PAYE for amounts as the minimal amount being 24,000 shillings, is going to get increased all the way to 30,000 shillings. So in essence, it means if it is adopted, this particular proposal, if you earn 30,000 shillings and below, you will not be paying pay as you earn. Currently, pay as you earn is paid by those who earn 24,000 and above. So if this proposal by the Kenya Bankers Association is adopted, those who are earning 29,000 or 30,000 and below are not going to be subjected to PAYE. That particular move is one of the suggestions and recommendations made to ensure that we have an ease on the pay slip there and unlock more disposable income to increase consumer purchase power and support circulation of money in the economy. That is a proposal. The budget making process is underway for the financial year 2025-2026. We can only wait and see indeed if it's going to be taken up. Now, before we cross over to sports, just to highlight that Embu Governor Cecile Mbarire and other officials in her executive have been surcharged with illegally withdrawing 10 million shillings from the county aggregation and industrial parks. The money is said to have been used to host border operators in a political gathering. Now, this was revealed while appearing before the County Public Accounts Committee on Wednesday. Now, Embu Governor Cecile Mbarire was at pains to explain, the withdrawal which the Auditor General had flagged as an illegality, placing the county in a precarious position. As this develops in Embu County, we're going to be keeping tabs on that and so much more in regard to governance and leadership. That takes us to sports, and we start over in Baringo, where the government has announced plans to construct 25 new stadiums across the country as part of a broader strategy to promote sports development and nurture talent among the youth. Now, speaking during the groundbreaking ceremony of the Kabarnet Stadium in Baringo Central, Sports Principal Secretary Elijah Mwangi, accompanied by Defense Principal Secretary Patrick Mariru, said the projects will be undertaken by the Kenya Defense Forces in collaboration with the Ministry of Sports. He said the Kabarnet Stadium is among the facilities earmarked for construction and is expected to be complete within the next 9 months. In the meantime, 8 new stadiums across the country are set for commission next week.
Tutaamuru the Athletics Kenya, FKF, the Rugby Union na wale wengine, ili wakati uwanja inatengenezwa wakuje na wao waone pia ile standards, ile specifications imewekwa. Tunataka kuhakikishia watu wa Kabarnet, hii stadium haitakuwa ya watu 9,000 ama 8,000. Itakuwa stadium ya watu ambao wanaweza keti 10,000.
Nataka kushukuru management ya Showground na KVDA kwa kupatia kiwanja yao ili tupate kujenga stadium kubwa.
So now we understand that there were matches that were being played in as far as the UEFA is concerned. And just to mention how the table looks like, we have Arsenal at the very top, having 23, garnered 24 points. Bayern coming in with 21 points. Liverpool third there with 18 points there. How many matches have been played? Just to have a look at the matches that were played, we had that is Bayern taking on Union St. Louis. We had 2-0, and then Atalanta and the Athletic Club, they're squaring it out with Athletic Club scoring 3 goals against Atalanta's second. So match 8 of 8, we have Liverpool that scored 6 goals against none from Korabak FK. We have Barcelona that was taking on Copenhagen, scoring 4 goals against a solitary goal from Copenhagen. We have Monaco taking on Juventus that ended in a barren draw. Ajax versus Olympiacos, with Olympiacos scoring 2 goals against Ajax 1 single goal. PSG and Newcastle 1-1 draw there in that particular match that was played yesterday. Dortmund taking on Inter there, with Inter carrying the day with 2 goals. We also had Napoli squaring it out with Chelsea. And I know a majority of people in this particular room, especially from our production side, was waiting to see if I'm going to read out this particular report there. Chelsea ended up scoring 3 goals against 2 from Napoli. Tottenham with Eintracht Frankfurt, we had Tottenham scoring 2 goals against none from Frankfurt. Then Atletico Madrid taking on Glimlit, with Glimlit taking, or rather carrying the day. So much was happening yesterday night, including Arsenal playing there, scoring 3 goals against Kirat there. So you can get further details on what was happening yesterday night with 6 English Premier Leagues clubs that were eyeing the top 8 positions, and I've already mentioned 3 already, with Arsenal at the very top in as far as that particular game that was played yesterday is concerned. Quite a fixture, quite a table. So many things have changed in that particular table, but Arsenal remains at the very top in as far as the UEFA Champions League table is concerned. Arsenal comes in first, Bayern second, Liverpool third, Tottenham fourth, Barcelona fifth, Chelsea sixth, and Sporting there 7, Man City 8, Real Madrid 9th, Inter at position 10. Whether Manchester United was to even play or not play, they are out of this particular league. So hey, we'll continue keeping tabs on what is happening in the sporting arena, but for now that puts a cap on matters in the headlines. In as far as news is concerned, peruse our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke for further details in regard to what is happening in the sporting arena, politics, as well as business. I leave you in the capable hands of my colleagues, Mike and as well as Unique, the DJ, to take you through Thursday being the new Friday. You can also give us your feedback on X at KBC Channel 1. I'm Regina Manyara. Have a pleasant Thursday ahead.
Tunatambulika kwa mandhari yetu ya kuvutia,
tamaduni zetu, ukarimu wetu, vyakula vyetu, uchapakazi,
na pia kwa sauti tofauti za watangazaji wetu waliobobea.
Dibengo niko hapa aka upcoming sponsor. Bila shaka hapa ni kama Pedeshe, ma deep state pia vile cartels.
Tunaenzi talanta za pwani, tunakuza talanta za hapa kwetu nyumbani.
Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tuko mjengoni kama kawa na wanangu wengine wawili.
Usikose kutegea 103.1 Pwani FM, stesheni ambayo itakupa fursa ya kupata uhondo kamili wa pwani na kuleta Wakenya pamoja.
Pwani FM, tafrija kipwani.
Allahu Akbar, our creator, there's no one greater.
Unafahamu kisa cha Nabii Yusuf kuwasamehe ndugu zake?
Wakapanga njama ya kumchukua Yusuf na kumpeleka mbali na familia yake. Wakaamua kumuuza Yusuf kama mtumwa. Yusuf aliuzwa na baada ya miaka ikapita.
Kisha Mwenyezi Mungu anaangalia mtafanya mambo gani, mtafanya matendo gani. Utafanya matendo mema mazuri, siku ya kiyama uingie katika janna, au utafanya maovu na mabaya uingie katika moto wa jahannam.
Are you a talented artist, or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream, all for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. This is Entertainment Thursday, where we get to elevate your feel good. But before we get to the entertainment part, always on Thursdays we have a segment called Future Voices, where we give the youth a chance to contribute to matters of national interest. And today we are looking at the whole aspect of achieving a first world Kenya, a vision that has been expressed by the president, that is President William Ruto, saying that Kenya can move from a developing country to a developed country. They are giving a timeline of 20 to 30 years now that we have the National Infrastructure Fund and also by extension Sovereign Wealth Fund aimed at mobilizing a long-term capital for development with the aim of moving away from relying on loans for such investment, because he said it will call for discipline, unity and focus in as far as unlocking Kenya's potential to that regard is concerned. So this is what we are talking about today. We just want to get a feel of what young people feel or think about this vision by the president. Is it achievable? Is it a vision or just an illusion? Or even amidst opportunities in as far as accountability is concerned. And for that conversation in studio, I'm joined by Florence Ayo, who is a youth leader and a governance advocate. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you.
How are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great.
Yes.
And also, this is Alo Denish, who is a youth leader and a bioscientist. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
Habari ya masiku?
Nzuri sana. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too. Yes. Now, we are also expecting another person to join the panel. His name is Larry Chisiangani, who is a youthful UDA and a youth from UDA and also a senatorial aspirant. He will be joining us later on as we proceed. But before he comes, let's kick off the conversation. And I'll start with you, Florence.
Yes.
The vision that the president has.
Yes.
Of the country moving from developing to a developed country. Mm-hmm. What do you think of that vision?
Well, good morning, Kenya. Yes, it is good to have a vision. I mean, every human being has a vision.
Yeah.
And now when you are narrowing it down to the president of this country, it is actually mandated to come up with plans that will make the country move forward in terms of development and just in how we do our things. And that moving to the first world country, it is possible, but there are a lot of things that we really need to do, because when you talk about first world country, we actually understand what it means to be a first world country. It doesn't just happen by, oh, I have a vision, or by saying things like tutafanya, tutatenda, tumetenga. You understand? It actually calls for real work. It actually calls for no corruption. It actually calls for systems that work, education system that works, education system that matches the market demand. You understand? So yes, we are hopeful. We don't want to say it is not possible, because we are the citizens of this country, and it calls upon the citizen and the leadership to work together and make Kenya the first world country as the president wants it to be. But understand, to the common mwananchi, for instance, I come from Ugenya constituency.
Yes.
When you talk to them, when you talk to Mamamboga about first world country, you'll be asking you, what do you mean? What are you talking about if my child has graduated and is still here with me? You know, they cannot afford basic, you know, food. They cannot afford, you know, just a decent lifestyle. You understand? So for them, that is the first thing that actually makes it actually makes sense to them. It's actually what makes them say the country is working, things are working, you understand? And you cannot blame them, because a hungry nation, what do you mean a first world country when we cannot afford to put food on the table, you understand? So I think that's the situation. It can be an illusion, but it can also be a reality. But at the moment, it is an illusion, but as we say, the president has a vision. So let it not just be promises. Let it be something that actually it is more of delivery of service to the common mwananchi. Yeah, so it is possible, but not now. It is possible when the factors that I've mentioned, things like corruption, things like proper public service delivery, things like working institutions, things like unemployment, you know, we will get there. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
You've touched on a very important aspect, especially when it comes to the strengths and weaknesses of the institutions that we have. We'll come back to that. But from your perspective, Dinesh, what do you think of this vision? Is it an illusion? Or
Thanks, and good morning again.
Good morning to you.
Yes, just like you had alluded, you see, I took a considerably lengthy period of time from the mainstream since the sunset of my leader, the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, who was actually the torchbearer of Kenyan democracy and the foremost champion of the vision of Canaan, the journey to Canaan, a prosperous land full of milk and honey, which is synonymous to Singapore today or any first world economy. May his soul rest in peace. The question is not whether Kenya can become a first world economy, but whether we are willing to make first world choices consistently and not conveniently. We cannot promise a global competitiveness while we tolerate corruption, we tolerate policy inconsistency, and we tolerate poor governance in different sectors. So one thing that the government must do is to address key issues bedeviling our economy since the inception of our republic. That is, and the foremost is corruption. The rest will remain rhetoric. It will remain a dream. It will remain an illusion if we cannot fight the monster called corruption. If we cannot strengthen institutions that we have, the EACC, the anti-corruption commissions, and the other systems that, or in all other sectors that cumulatively make up our country and that cumulatively work towards strengthening our economy. So first of all, it is good to have a vision, but it is also good to have a plan towards achieving that vision. We can have a vision, but it remains a dream when there is no clear path. Or we cannot achieve a first world economy while using the same third world form of governance that we have had before. Yes.
He has mentioned governance, a very important aspect. And you compare what history says about what Singaporean leader, that is Lee Kuan Yew, did when it comes to governance. What aspects of governance, from your perspective, need to change? Because there's not just something that talks about moving to first world in terms of just infrastructure. What aspects of governance needs to change?
Well, one, we need to fix our leadership. You understand? It starts from our leaders, and that starts from the president narrowing down to the MCA at the grassroots level. You understand? So what kind of leaders are we electing? What kind of leaders are we prompting forward the citizens of the country? Is it because am I electing a leader because he has given me 1,000 shilling? In our place in Uganda, we say in Kijaluo, let me translate it, that he gives you 1,000 shillings and he says, or the leader says that they're done with you. So you don't, there is no accountability you're going to do when they're in power. You get it? So the kind of leaders I think as citizens, we should also come up with, can I say, let them be merit-based, but not because they're my friend or because of some reasons that does not make sense. Like, for instance, I was having a conversation with a friend, and we were having this conversation, what do we have, like, a way that we can prompt forward our leaders? For instance, as you're vying for a senatorial position, you're vying for a gubernatorial position. You must have like a track record of something that you've done before you get to be elected. Yes. You understand? So when you fix our leadership, the kind of people we prompt into power, you've seen what Ndidi has done, for instance. And now the common wananchi and even some leaders are like, oh, it's actually possible. So it's actually possible. It's just that even the citizen, the leaders that we elect, know that a citizen, they don't care. Citizens are just, they're just okay with the kind of leadership that is happening. But 2027, it's coming. And I think it's going to be a period where as young people, as elderly people, as Gen Z, all the people need to come up and say, if we want to have or move to the first world class in terms of development or as a country, then we need to change some of our leaders. You understand? So for me, it starts from the leadership. So when the leadership works, things are going to work in the country.
This also ties to the kind of politics we do in the country, because you cannot say we want to move to a first world country. We have not fixed our politics. We have not fixed, as she says, governance. But my question to you, Alo, is, given the kind of politics that we do within the country, are Kenyans ready to change the kind of politics and the kind of governance that we are used to?
Yes, in fact, we talk about Singapore, and it sometimes appears so sad because, Kenya actually got independence ahead of Singapore in 1963. Singapore got independence in 1965. And by 1966, our GDP was slightly higher than that of Singapore. Today, we are worlds apart. And that all forms your question, governance and politics. Singapore had transformational kind of leadership. Leaders that were concerned about future generations. Leaders that was having long-term plan. Actually, if you look at them, they have exceeded what even the forebearers of that nation had in their mind. Kenyans, mostly, you see, most of our politics is transactional. We are concerned about the next election and not the next generation.
And actually, we are concerned about the next elections once we get into
power. We get into. So we promote politics over productivity. In fact, politics in Kenya is more lucrative than the productivity sector. And that is where we get it wrong. We get leaders into power as a source, as a step or as a ladder to wealth.
Yes.
While in those countries like Singapore, they have zero tolerance to corruption. You get into leadership because you have passion to transform. And a transformational leader has got a vision. He knows the way and he goes the way. Kenyan leaders, majority of them, appears to know the way. They appear to speak the way, but go the opposite direction. They preach water, drink wine. And that is where we have a problem. But the thing is, what is the key problem here? We promote personality over systems. We promote leadership in Kenya revolves around the person in power, not the systems. In stable economies, the systems are more powerful than the person. And the system follows the law strictly without favoritism. You have seen in Korea, former presidents are in prison.
Yes.
That can't happen in Kenya. The our person syndrome, the politics of ethnicity. These are some of the things that if we can't fight, we will preach. Remember, at the beginning of, at the inception of this republic, we had three things we were supposed to fight. That was poverty, we were supposed to fight disease, and we were supposed to fight ignorance. As we speak today, poverty is still broad and wide in most parts of this republic. Today, we have not, our healthcare system is still badly doing. In fact, we are talking about changing systems from NHIF to SHA, but all of them, you can see they still have numerous challenges. We still talk about ignorance. A large percentage of our population is still illiterate, especially in some portions of the country. So we are talking about the same things and using the same language, preaching the same gospel we've been preaching, but not implementing. So while it is good for the president to have leadership, he has to face the reality. He has to build, to empower systems. Systems in Kenya always prosecute based on political alienation, based on ethnic extraction sometimes. You see, today, a person in Turkana may be very visionary, may be a transformational leader. By all standards, everybody may be able to see. But the fact that that person comes from that part of the republic, alone, with the limited population and voter turnout, he cannot even be the president of this country. So sometimes you blame the leadership, you blame the citizens. Yes, yes, the citizens carry a portion of the blame and the leadership carry a portion of the blame.
You look at the successive administrations we've had, and each administration comes with its own vision. Every administration comes with its own vision. Kibaki had the Vision 2030, and now we are talking about matters to do with moving to a first world country. What has made it hard for us to cushion such visions from political influence, such that even if successive governments come, there is a certain vision that we stick to? We have a goal. What has made it so hard to ensure that we have visions that are cushioned away from politics?
Yeah, it is. Excuse me. I mean, the Vision 2030 is still very good and well placed in paper. Like you say, Kenya is a good country when it comes to policies and promises and, you know, plans. You understand? But now the problem comes with implementation, and that goes back to what you're trying to say right now, because you see, after every 5 years. After the completion of a term, the new president comes with a different plan for the country. And they don't care about the previous plan that the previous president had. And you see, we keep on shifting from this, and we keep on shifting from one plan to another, depending on what the president wants, depending on, like he said, people in the president's rule according to their political affiliations. They want their people to benefit. They want the people of, for instance, the people of Luo to benefit. They want the people of, you know, how can I put it? Them, you know, where they come from. You understand? So I think, and that is why you see it is 2 years right now, or 3 years after the leaders have been elected, and they will say, I was still planning myself. Now I'll start delivering the last year when they're supposed to be elected out. Yeah. So I think that is something, like he has said, that it calls upon the collective work of the common mwananchi and the leadership.
Which also begs the question, let's say hypothetically, President Ruto is out of office. Can we still go ahead and implement this vision of achieving first world country?
Actually, that is almost similar to what you asked, and that is what I was saying. We are playing politics and governance of convenience and personality. Think about it. A governor gets into power. In the course of the 5 years, he begins building a mansion called the governor's mansion, using taxpayers' money. And unfortunately, maybe the 5-year ends, maybe the governor had a vision of going 2 terms and is kicked out of the office. A new governor comes, abandons the building, which has consumed millions of taxpayers' money, and begins other projects, or starts a different mansion. Now, this is taxpayers' money wasted, left at halfway, the project is not achieved, another is beginning. we are not recovering the money that has been used. The same to launching infrastructure projects, the roads. The president goes here, launch this. It is given to our contractors, and tendering is done based on maybe some other affiliations or favoritism. Another power comes into place, cancels all the tenders, cancels all the projects. Remember, the other one left when a considerable amount of taxpayers' money has been used along the way. So we keep using our taxpayers' money to no achievement. We leave all the projects halfway. Another president come in. Today we are talking about bottom-up economic transformation. Another leader who may want to achieve a different legacy, believing that if he continues with bottom-up economic agenda, he will be consumed by the previous leader's legacy. He banishes that and comes up with a different things. Now you will be hearing about, let us talk about trickle-down economic progress. Now, what we don't have is powerful and functional systems that do not revolve around personality. If you look at the systems like in the US, in some other countries, there are systems that will proceed regardless of whoever comes into power. There are bodies that will always operate regardless of whoever comes into power. A governor is prosecuted immediately after leaving office because he was corrupt. Immediately he realizes with the powers that be. And then he's cushioned and even awarded a CS position. Therefore, the money that was stolen in the previous regime cannot be recovered. We go back to the taxpayers to tax them more, to get more money to begin new projects. That is the problem we've been having, and that is the problem Singapore never had.
Indeed.
They had a functional system that continued with the successive regimes, and that is what we need to have, build systems that works.
Systems that work. We're talking about a vision of having Kenya move from a developing country to a developed nation, and that conversation continues after this short break. Stay with us.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tunaangazia ufugaji wa nzi wa BSF.
Tunajifunza mbinu nafuu ya uzalishaji wa chakula cha mfugo.
Hii ndio tunaita black soldier fly larvae. Huyu ndio mdudu ambaye ndio chakula ya kuku. Na naweza kueleza sio chakula tu wa kuku wa mifugo ama kitu kingine. Pia wanadamu pia.
Wow.
Ni chakula yetu. Hivi karibuni tutakuwa tunaitisha chapati BSF. Ama ugali BSF.
Wow, sio.
BSF bado inakuja kutackle climate change.
Ungana nasi Jumamosi saa 10:30 hapa KBC Channel 1.
Kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo.
I would whisper I do to my beautiful ebony eyes. So we're going on a summer holiday to make our dream come true. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Tell me how am I supposed to live without you? I've got millions to trust, but just where to begin? I'll let you decide. Maybe you get the love to me. Never too much will never be so good. Let's just kiss, say goodbye. Na walisema mapenzi ni kama upepo.
Zameni usiuchawi. Ino kazi ni amoni.
Ni kipi kikusikitishacho kipenzi changu kiki?
Akili mnemba ina mchango gani katika jamii?
Hoja yangu ya kwanza ni mabadiliko ya haraka katika teknolojia yanafanya watu kushindwa kuendeleza akili mnemba.
Akili mnemba inaunda fursa mpya za kazi.
Tutajie kisawe cha neno hili.
Gwena.
Huitwa ngwena. Makofi mpigie. Mama amepona. Kinyume.
Mama ameugua.
Tamthilia ya Bembea ya Maisha ni tamthilia ya tatizo. Eleza.
Inaeleza jinsi Yona na Sara wanapitia tabu na mwisho wakafanikiwa.
You're still watching Good Morning Kenya. This is Entertainment Thursday segment we are having right now is Future Voices, where we give the youth a chance to contribute to matters of national interest. And now you're talking about the first world dream that we have of moving to becoming a developed nation according to the vision that the president has. And Florence, when you look at the institutions that we have, and pegging on what Singapore did, they enforced discipline very ruthlessly. Corruption was not tolerated in any way. And all rules applied equally. So, my question here is, yes, we have institutions, different institutions, independent institutions, but are they able to enforce the discipline that we are talking about without fear or favor?
Well, our constitution is very good as a country, but we have leaders, or rather we elect leaders that they don't care about the rule of law. They don't care about the ukatiba, the constitutionalism, you understand? So when you have leaders who actually respect the rule of law, they actually follow the law as it is supposed to be followed, then things are going to work, you understand? For instance, there's the law really stipulates how corruption should be dealt with in the country. And you see, when you talk about even corruption itself, it starts up going down to the citizens of the country. You understand? So it's like corruption, for instance, corruption is a deal breaker in the country, and when it comes to management of resources, when it comes to systems, like as he was saying, corruption is actually the thing that makes it very difficult for systems to work. Because if a road, for instance, if a road has been constructed in a way that is it's not efficient, you understand? Because somebody appointed, or rather brought in their relatives to, but not actually the people who can do the job very well. It's going to be, you know, after some time, after some moment, it's not going to be working, you understand? And when you look at corruption and service delivery, corrupted people, they cannot deliver well. Because, you understand, most of them, they're not merited to do whatever they're doing, you understand? So I think systems will work, but when the leaders of the nation make sure that rules are followed, that is, the constitution is followed to the core. And that is one thing that we need to know when you're electing leaders. Even our president should actually be very keen with the constitution, should be very keen with the respect of the rule of law. You understand? Yes. Yeah, so I think the rule of law is very important, following the constitution that is there in place on how things should be done, on how accountability should be done for different projects, on how institutions should work. And if institutions do not work, what should be done, and how should we go about the corruption cases in the country? So I feel like we need to elect leaders. We need to elect the people that represent us, understand how the law should be, you know, they should be principled about following the law and how it should work to benefit the common mananchi. Yes. You understand? Yeah, so I think that is what I can say.
Hello, you know, some people may argue, you know, we want Singapore level status, but we do not have Singapore level accountability. Is that a fair accusation, especially when you look at our political and professional class?
Yeah, it's absolutely fair. Maybe just to reinforce what she has just said, it's true. We have one of the most progressive constitutions in the continent and generally even in the world.
Yeah.
We have established bodies and commissions to deal with various issues in different sectors of this country. But let us face the reality. We have bodies and independent bodies in paper, but very much controlled bodies in reality.
Yes.
Think about it. Before this government just came into power, look at the nature of people the police were manhandling or hunting. Look at the people the EACC were going after. Then those people got into power. Do you hear any cases about them anymore? You will hear cases about the others who are appearing to be so much sanitized and not corrupt. Today, if this government gets out of power and maybe the opposing side wins, you will now see the people the EACC is going after, the very people who are in power. What does that tell you? That first, the EACC is not independent. They follow the rules of the people in power. Look at where we see tear gas nowadays and where we were seeing tear gas just 2021. Is it in the same place? No. Just before Gen Z revolution, when the former party leader of Right Honorable was in the streets, the Monday demonstrations,
Yes.
What was the direction of tear gas? And immediately after the handshake, everything shifted the other direction. What does that tell you? The police authority, we call it police service, basically police authority, is not independent. They follows the orders of the people in power. And that is the problem we have. We will never be accountable as long as systems are revolving around personality. We will never be ruthless about corruption. We will never be tolerant. We will never be intolerant to corruption as long as systems favor people in power.
Yes.
So therefore, a governor or an MC or a senator in power will simply loot and strategically calculate and realigns himself with the next power, and he will be safe. He will consume taxpayers' money for the rest of his life with his children. Just the other day, we had a former prime minister of South Korea who made a mistake according to their constitution. Do you know currently is behind bars?
Yes.
Just
20 months?
Yes, and he's not likely to leave anytime soon. And many more of them. Actually, he's not the only South Korean leader that is behind bars. Many of them.
Yes.
You get out of power, they follow you. In fact, they will start preparing for you even before you leave power. We have seen in developed countries like in the UK, a senator or a member of parliament resigns because of a public misconduct. Is that possible in Kenya? In Kenya, if you do that, you are shielded by your community, and it's actually a catapult to even going for a higher position. They are hunting after me, and they shield you. So while we shield people in the name of our person, we shield people who are corrupt, and therefore they use us actually as a bait to evade accountability. So let us have systems that work. Let us have bodies that can be able to make our leaders accountable. And then to the citizens, I think we need a lot of civic education to know that our person syndrome doesn't help us. We need meritocracy. We need to talk more about productivity over politics. You know, our governance centers around debate over power more over performance. We debate over so-and-so is not going to win because he has the following, not because he's merited, not because he can do better, but because this one can do better, but he doesn't have a following. Why is it that even the people who are following the other guy knows this one can do better, but they're not following? Because we need civic education. We need the citizens to be enlightened that regardless of the origin of a person, if he's merited, if he's accountable, if he can put systems to work, then it will be for the good of all of us. Yes.
Which actually, you've just preempted the question that I was about to ask next, because matters to do with productivity, meritocracy, and even skills, because those are some of the things that developed countries focus on more, and especially when you look at Singapore. Florence, from a young person's perspective, do you feel that young Kenyans get rewarded for competence today, or you need to know someone somewhere?
Well, I'll say yes and no, because looking at it in the political space, actually that is what is happening. You know, you have to be politically aligned to a certain side, and that side is usually the side that is in power for you to get certain benefits, you understand? And of course we have some citizens who we can say have a little touch of dignity, and they reward you based on competency, you understand? So I think as a young person, it's now, if you look at even the young people who are trying to come out to vie for political positions, they're trying to align themselves to where they can get money. They're trying to align themselves to power, and that is the party that is in power right now, so that they can be favored, or rather they can be supported. So political alignment is actually one of the things that young people, you can, and then you say you cannot blame them, you understand? You cannot blame them because you want to do things the right way. You cannot do things the right way and maneuver through the system that is not working. You have to be corrupt as the system for you to maneuver through the system. You have to do things in a certain way that is not, acceptable in the system for you to maneuver. So as the young people, I think it's more of giving up and just trying to make a living. It's more of, I don't care anymore, as long as I get a job somewhere, you understand? So it is true when you say, political alienation, political taking political sides, make some of them gain. And you can see even in the government right now, there are so many young people who have gained because they say, oh, let me support so-and-so, not because I believe in their ideology, not because I believe that they can take the country to Singapore, the first world country we are talking about, but because I will get a job, Yeah, so I think that's what I can say. Yeah.
Do you think, based on what she has said, it's one of the things that has entrenched corruption within the country?
The politics of I should know someone. Yes, exactly. Because it enforces nepotism, it enforces favoritism, and it actually is one of the things why our politics is still tribal. When we talk about awarding people based on who I know and not on merit, then people will start talking about my person.
Yes.
It will start at a family level, it will be nepotism. It actually will start maybe at a friendship level, just some form of favoritism that is out of meritocracy. Then it will go to being nepotism and then to tribalistic. So that is where we have a problem, and that is why today, even as we are trying to talk about 2027 election, we are already grouping ourselves into tribal lines. That tells even in the minds, you just need kind of a DNA revival, because this thing is so much entrenched into the Kenyan DNA that it is not even so easy to root it out. We are talking about a president and the leadership, even in the opposition, who have a vision. But they talk about strongholds. The strongholds are literally places where they come from. What does this tell you? They bank on the tribal politics to get into power. And therefore, that means they know that without tribal politics, you cannot succeed. What does this tell you? It is still favoritism. It is still politics that is not based on meritocracy. That's why I think we miss this thing from the word go. I like what Jakaya Kikwete did. He talked about Majimbo. You see, today in Tanzania, a person from a very small tribe can become a president. Yes, it's because of what they did. But I don't think it is too late. But it is incumbent upon the current leaders to try to entrench the politics of and the governance of merit. Because we talk about after election award people. You realize we have misplaced priorities. The best doctor with the good governance cannot be a CS for health, who knows, who has actually been in the field, understands the problem of the people. You bring an engineer to guide. Do you want to say we lack somebody really in the entire health sectors who understands the problem of health, who can control it? When it also applies to roads, do we lack an engineer who has been through that system, who has shown accountability, that really understands the problems and really understands the core issues that can. So because we award people based on their loyalty, and therefore we even have misplaced priorities, people holding wrong dockets when they are even good elsewhere, because the person who is good there is not aligned to me.
In other words, dockets meant for technocrats.
Yes, are given to politicians who even have got no academic qualifications to hold the same positions.
Indeed.
Yes.
We're also joined by Larry Chisiangani, who is a UDA youth and senatorial aspirant. Welcome to Good Morning Kenya.
Thank you so much.
Karibu sana.
Sorry I've been late.
Yes.
I do know one thing with our generation, we really fear wasting time. But we don't fear dreaming big.
Yes.
Yes, so
indeed.
By all means, I have to be here.
Yeah, we are talking about First World Kenya, the dream that the president has very expressed it very well.
Yes.
And we just want to get your understanding of it from a point of this question. Is it a good vision, or it remains an illusion, something that is to be used for political purposes?
First of all, I want to start by saying that the journey of economic development, it's an intentional journey. So when the president says he wants to take Kenya to Singapore, this is not just for political purposes. This is a journey that he has decided, because if there's anything we need to do, we need to emulate countries that are doing better than us economically. So, and we need to understand that also Kenya, from history, Kenya gained its independence in 1963, Singapore gained its independence in 1965. And I remember there was this founding father of Singapore who visited Kenya that in the 60s. It was called Lee Kuan Yew. By the time he was visiting Kenya, our economy was 3 times better than that of Singapore. Are you getting?
Yes.
So this is not a dream, it's not an illusion. Lee Kuan Yew came and borrowed our sensational paper, number 10 of 1965, which had the plan, economic plan of how Kenya we are going to run after we've got independence. And that's what they worked on. That's what they implemented, that's what they executed. That's why Singapore is where it is today.
Where did we miss the mark? Where did we lose our way? Because, as you've said, there was a vision of the trajectory that the country wanted to take.
Yes.
Where did we veer off the rails?
Well, whenever we veered off the rails is when Kenya we have a problem with execution and implementation. That's our only challenge. But when Mwai Kibaki came into power, he came up with the economic recovery plan. And for the first time, we had a double-digit budget. And we also have we also had a growth in the GDP by that time in 2003. So this is something that is attainable only if we implement our laws well, only if we work on these policies. And there are a few things that are limiting us to implementing these policies. That those are the things that the president is working on, and I also hope that the teams, the institutions responsible, also corruption. Corruption fades off everything. Corruption is the one that is, you'll see that a politician comes and brags of building 10 houses. I mean, delivering electricity to 10 houses. But because of corruption, maybe they were not meant to go to 10 houses. Maybe they were meant to go for 20 houses. Yes. So once we fight off these challenges, and in growth you always need to face challenges. Challenges are always there. So it's just how we are going to maneuver within these challenges that is going to take us to Singapore.
Before you can get back to the corruption aspect and the strength of institutions, something that you are talking about with your fellow panelists. Maybe from your perspective, what does a first world Kenya look like for a young person?
For a young person, you know, young people have, number one, we have skills. So these skills should not be wasted. You need to have jobs. First world country for me is whatever we are doing right now with the health sector, a working health sector. Another thing is infrastructure. Let us see good roads. You've heard of tarmacking, the dualing of the Rironi Road, SGR to Malaba is going to open up so many opportunities for the country. So we shouldn't politicize these issues. We really need to, if at all we are working for the good of the country, we need to work on these issues and stop politicizing everything. We need to see electricity, connectivity in every household. We shouldn't go back to my village in Matunda there and you see people are still living without electricity. Not in this generation.
Yeah.
Yes, not at this time. This time things are moving to digital. We also have the digitalization of processes within the government. Like you've seen the introduction of the e-procurement and many other factors that the president is putting in place. Yes.
I'm going to ask the three of you this question. And given on the account that you have given, since 1963 we had a vision, but along the way we veered off the road.
Yes.
And now we want to attain a first world level status as a country.
Yes.
Are we being a tad too ambitious, Mr. Trithi?
We're not too ambitious because I told you one thing. If you want to do well, you always have to emulate those who are doing well. So, looking at the implementation, the policies that we are putting in place, these are things that are achievable. If Singapore borrowed from us, because Singapore works because of this session. I remember there's a certain parliament delegation, even Governor Gladys Wanga was among them. They visited Singapore, and when they asked for their policies, they told them, go back to your country and look at your sensational paper. So it's not too ambitious. This is something that we had in place. We are the ones who came up with it. It's just a matter of working on it. That's what we are going to deliver. We really don't need to call it too ambitious. We cannot compare ourselves to those people who are just doing good slightly than us. We need to aim higher. They say dream big. You just don't dream for the purposes of dreaming. You have to dream big.
Yes, you can dream big. Yes. And Florence, when you look at this vision, comparing ourselves to Singapore and the direction that we want to take, I'll ask you the same question. Are we being too ambitious? And also, are we being too ambitious because it is politically realistic, or it's just convenient and inspirational?
You know, I'm just thinking, and Kenyans, we forget very quickly. And Kenyans, I think we like promises. We like to be sold to hope. And I think that's why you also have so many churches, you know. I mean, you remember the bottom up,
yes.
You know, how people were really buying into it and hyped about it. And the same leader is coming up with another slogan, is coming up with another song, Singapore. And I think people want to dance to the same tune. I think we're just hyper of words, and I think as a country we have a problem as citizens. You understand? So I think as citizens, like, they like to dance to tunes of, like I said before, tutafanya, tutatenda. They just like promises. They like to be promised big things and big words. But they're not even questioning how you're going to get to this Singapore. Yes, it is a good plan. But what has worked before that you can actually improve or, you know, work on better to make us go to Singapore? What exactly is it that, you know, you look at, we have like 90% of the problems and only 10% is working. And the 10%, like you said, when there's a project that has been rolled out, for instance, the Nyota program.
Yes.
And I was asking myself, the Nyota program has been launched. Not every solution requires a tent, a convoy, and a meeting. Why is the president moving from one country to another, launching like it's give us money. We have been trained. Let us go work with it. What is the launching happening? Why is it from one county to another? You understand? So as much as it is good to be ambitious, but we must be real with issues. You know, you cannot say that tomorrow we're going to be this and that. You understand? There must be a process. You understand? You're going to, for instance, in examination, you cannot just say, I'm confident, I'm going to, you know, perform well. You must be attending classes, you understand? You must be reading. There must be fewer steps that is going to lead us to the big plan. We don't just wake up and say, oh, the president has said we're going to Singapore. The president has said that we're going to be a first world, you know, economy. It does not work like that.
But
you understand?
You've already started.
Yeah, so the thing is, as much as, yeah, I understand this is our country and we are being ambitious, but we also should stop these things of, we are very, can I say false confidence? We just believe in mega promises. Come on, it does not work like that. You?
Okay, you wanted to respond
Let me just
to that.
interrupt a minute.
Okay.
I want to ask you a good question. There's this man who is approaching you. One is telling you, I want to buy for you a Boda Boda, and another one comes, he wants to buy for you a Range Rover. Which one will you fall for?
What has he bought for me before?
Yeah?
Yeah, what is, I'll look at
no, but he's interested in you.
I will look at
he cannot buy you before, he's already, he has shown his interest. His first interest is buying you a Boda Boda.
You know, the thing is,
you will go for a Range Rover, you are from the region that
when you
loves
compare it
good,
to
nice
the leadership
things.
that you have, this man is not coming for the first time. This man was first an MP. This man was a youth leader at some time. This man was in a working, political,
But at times, you need to be at the center of the decision making. When you are an MP, you cannot start implementing things to do with taking Kenya to Singapore. That's why he fought his way up.
All right, we are coming back to that debate once we come back from this short break. Stay with us.
Utaacha bodaboda juu ya Range Rover.
It's nice to see you.
I think maybe our angel is not ready for this world yet. That's why we should keep waiting.
Wiki hii kwenye Mkulima tunaangazia ufugaji wa nzi wa BSF.
Tunajifunza mbinu nafuu ya uzalishaji wa chakula cha mfugo.
Hii ndio tunaita black soldier fly larvae.
Aha.
Huyu ndio mdudu ambaye ndio chakula ya kuku. Na naweza kueleza sio chakula tu wa kuku wa mifugo ama kitu kingine. Pia wanadamu pia.
Wow.
Ni chakula yetu. Hivi karibuni tutakuwa tunaitisha chapati BSF. Ama ugali BSF.
Wow, sio.
BSF bado inakuja kutackle climate change.
Ungana nasi Jumamosi saa 10:30 hapa KBC Channel 1.
Kwa mseto kamili wa kilimo.
Kauko na mimi high five. Kauko na mimi high five. Kauko na mimi
How do you heal? How do you move on, whether it's in relationships, whether it's with family, with friends?
So when I hear about healing, one, I believe it's all about clarity and stability when you're making your decisions.
Loving is not a feeling. It is an action. It is to give that love that is required. And so that is why I believe you cannot at all. You can't love that person and you're still healing.
I put my hope in you, for you are the lifter of my head. You say, I put my trust in you.
Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. We are still here talking about the road to the first world level country, because that is the vision that the president has expressed. And Alo, when you look at what we are garnering towards, Singapore style kind of an economy. But then again, this is a country where we have matters to do with youth unemployment still remaining high. And youth trying to just find their space in as far as economic matters are concerned. Can we achieve that while we are yet to fully address such matters?
Exactly. In fact, one thing that always also confuses is that we can even have a high GDP, but even high GDP per capita. But sometimes we need to look about Human Development Index. In developed countries like Singapore, you realize that wealth or the national resources are equally distributed. In our setup like Kenya, you will realize that 10% of the population controls 90% of Kenyan resources, while 90% controlling the 10%. We have resources, we have wealth as Kenya. It's not that we don't have, but we have them controlled by minority. The larger population is still largely poor. That's why if you look at the Human Development Index, you realize that we can talk about there's an increase in GDP, we can talk about there's an increase in economic growth, but it is not felt by the common citizen. Why? That increase goes into the pockets of the 10%. If you look at the average earning of a Singaporean citizen is relatively almost 10 times higher than that of an average Kenyan.
Yeah.
But still, if you look at the highest paid Kenyan, you may find that the amount he earns is higher than the highest paid Singaporean. Why do you think that is happening? Because we are concentrating wealth and resources around few. And with that, we will never feel the effect of economic growth. That's why it is even difficult to sell the Singapore dream to the common mwananchi, because you tell him we want to achieve a first world economy. The person at the moment is only busy with what he can put into his stomach, put on the table. Why? Because there is someone somewhere who has accumulated a lot so much that he thinks the problem is no longer what to put on the table. He's concerned about now skyscrapers and whatever. There's another person concerned about just chapati and chai. So that is the unequal distribution of resources is what we, and therefore as we talk about economic growth, have we distributed our natural resources so that they can trickle down even to the common mwananchi? Does somebody in Turkana who is currently being ravaged by serious drought there, camels and cattle falling, does he know anything to do with the first world economy? He needs just water to drink, and actually water even for cattle and to drink. So while we talk about growth, if you look at Singapore, it has uniformly grown. That's why we are not even comparing ourselves with China. While China is an economic giant, you realize that we don't talk much about going the China way, because the GDP is so high, but there is also a larger population, Chinese population, that are still relatively poor. They have concentrated wealth around few. And if you want to go to a developed country, a first world economy like Singapore, we have to have a strategy, a plan that uplifts the entire citizenry upwards. Yes.
You know, let me ask you, Chesiangani, should people be just accepting this vision as put to them by the leaders, or just looking at it and even challenging it to ensure that even if we are taking this direction, we have agreed on the fundamentals?
Number one, if there's anything we are doing for the good of our country, we shouldn't politicize it. We shouldn't politicize it at all, because if at all leaders are intentional in growing this country, and we come up with plans like this road to Singapore, I don't know why anyone should criticize it. I don't know why. Of course, everyone is free to criticize or support, but I don't know why one should oppose this. We need to put in place policies that are really going to make this road work. Those insights, those people who are opposing, we need to listen to them, because they also have something maybe that we don't know that they want to tell us. But you shouldn't just be opposing for the sake of opposing because you think this is political and it doesn't fit this class. But there's a question.
Criticizing is not opposing.
Yeah?
Criticizing.
Yeah, that's why I've said there are two things. You are free to criticize, but at least don't oppose if it's for the good of our country. Because it's, you know, by the old generation, these people in the, maybe some even were in the opposition and even others in government, they are going to leave this earth very soon. Not very soon, we don't wish them bad, but at least we are the ones who are going to be there for long, we the youths and the coming generations. So if you are going to work on anything, work for things that when your generation will be alive one day, they'll be proud because of you. Like whatever the president is doing right now, he's implementing things to do with digital skills, digital tech skills. You've seen him going around the country, launching ICT hubs, creating employment for the youth. The affordable housing program. I had a certain governor from my region there saying the president should stop building houses and build companies. But you wonder, these houses that the president is building, they're not built for the governors.
There's a whole different conversation. But
no, let me expand on this. So creating these, when we look at these policies that the president is working on, they are for the good of this country. All these projects that he's doing, he's not doing them on behalf of, for himself. He's doing it for Kenyans and the future generations.
All right.
Yes.
When you look at the vision, and this is a question I had asked them earlier.
Yes.
Looking at our institutions, do they have the strength or the weakness to ensure that matters to do with them, because there's some level of discipline we need to have as a country to achieve a first world status? Do you believe our institutions have the strength to ensure that everything that needs to be done has been adhered to, or they are too weak to deal with them?
I think the first step that the president needs to take is to empower these institutions. I'm honest, these institutions, some of them are not working.
Doesn't the Constitution empower them?
It empowers them, but they are normal Kenyans born on this soil of us. So within the way they lose track.
Lose track in what sense?
They forget their mandate easily.
Forget their mandate, or they're interfered with?
They're not interfered with. Power gets into their head, and they just forget whatever put them in their respective offices.
But then again, from your point, that means that those institutions, from your point, do not have the wherewithal to implement or to deal with the discipline, to enforce the discipline that we need to achieve.
And that's one thing that the president needs to focus on also. In this journey to Singapore, for us to get there, some of these institutions, he has to start digging into them.
You know, I'm really grossly concerned, especially when I see young people talking, and there is a lot of psychophancy. Remember, some of these leaders we have today, they were once youth. They were once youth. And there is nothing important or special with being a youth in leadership when you can't have strength and the audacity to face the reality. We fear electing you into leadership because you will end up being the same batch of leaders that we are criticizing today. I would wish to see a young gentleman going to leadership, facing the reality. You are saying the institutions are not interfered with. We know very well that the independent institutions are independent on paper, but they dance to the tune of the powers that be. We know very well that the police force, as we've seen them today, are hunting those who are anti-government. And we've seen that even this government wait, I finish. Even this government, before they got into power, you had them complaining. The likes of Kimani Chunga, the police is after us. Why is the police not after them today? We've seen EACC today hunting only those who are anti-government. Those who are pro-government are seemingly protected, even those we know are corrupt. Let us face the reality. Let us strengthen our independent institution.
No,
and
but if they arrest a corrupt government in the opposition,
let us ensure that they are not revolving around personality of leadership. In fact, if we are talking about us leaders today, youths of today are going to be leaders of tomorrow, and we are simply sycophants praising things blindly for the sake of being relevant, I'm telling you, in the next generation, which we will be the leaders, there will be nothing special because we can't face the bull by the horn.
Yes. Yeah. Let me ask you, Florence. We are talking about vision, the vision of becoming a first world. And the timelines that have been given, the ranges between 20 to 30 years. If we do not achieve that, what do you think historians will say we got wrong?
I think what what the scenario is right now is, like I said, citizens of the country, they get excited with new things happening. You understand? So we have the Singapore dream, and we will blame, the historians are going to blame our leaders and are going to also blame the citizens. You understand? Because, like you said, bottom up is not working, or rather it worked and did a few projects. You get it? But before it was completely completed, before it was completely implemented, before it was efficiently implemented, we are moving forward to another one, which is, it's a good one. We don't say it's a bad thing. It's a good one to look forward to. It's a challenge, actually, if there were once in a certain, economic situation that was even worse than the country right now, and they've done better, then Kenya is, we are actually headed to a good, a good direction. So I think that we shall blame leaders who are, young people who are right now supporting the leaders in power for selfish gains. You understand how my brother was saying it's going to be very bad and sad when we, as the crop of leaders right now, in the near future, we are still being criticized because of the decisions that we made, of how we are trying to be sycophants, to please a certain crop of leaders in government so that they give us tickets, or rather propel our leadership selfish interest. You understand? So I think we are going to be judged harshly, but they're going to judge the young people. Because as young people, we are being told go and register as voters. We are being told we make up the large, we are the majority in the country, but we cannot just keep quiet and say, we cannot just keep quiet and do nothing about it. You understand? We cannot, and then you see the majority of young people are now moving to the political side, which is beneficial to them. And now we are lacking the real accountability, which we are going to call these people to power. Because just like they say, tomorrow we have a generation that we should be living for, a generation that we are going to guide, we are going to be leaders for. But you see, the people in power right now, I don't know whether they're thinking about us, but as you can see, they are trying, just slightly thinking about us because of personal reasons. They want to go back to power. And you see right now, as a young person, if you're involved in some illegalities, you want to try to, side with the government for protection. You want to side with the political, how can I put it? Those who are in power, so that you are protected, because that has been the track. You do bad things, you get corrupted, you just, they come and protect you, they shield you. Yeah. So I think as young people, the historians are going to judge us.
I want us to close this discussion with this question, and I'll take this as your closing remarks. When you look at this dream of becoming a first world country, is it a useful national ambition, or just a dangerous, what you'd call a dangerous distraction from the real issues that need fixing within this country? I'll start with you.
Let me first start by saying something where I've seen Florence saying, I've heard Florence saying people are joining the government because they don't know whatever is good in the government, they want to join there. But there's also nothing good in the opposition. They don't have a plan. That's number one. The president has come up with his plan of taking Kenya to Singapore. What have they come up with? They've only come up with stories and stories and stories. So Florence, unfortunately, the young people who are joining government, they are joining government because they see a vision in this government. They are not joining government because there's any other good thing in the government. Number one is the vision that is pushing us there. We don't want to work on tribal lines. We want to work as Kenyans. Where if I see Mike, I don't know the region that he comes from, but I'm seeing Mike here. When I see you, I don't care where you come from, but I see you as my fellow, as a daughter of the soil. On your question of is this thing, pardon, I beg you to repeat the question.
The question is, this dream that we have as a country of attaining the first world country, is it a useful ambition, or just a distraction from fixing the real issues that affect the country?
It's a useful ambition, and already we've started fixing some of the challenges that are there in the country. Challenges like the ones you're talking of, youth unemployment. I've told you, through these projects that the president is implementing. We have so many youths who are getting jobs. We have the agricultural, he has worked on the agricultural sector through giving out fertilizer subsidies. So it's not a distraction. This is a vision that we all need to look into. We have things to do with the universal health care.
Okay.
Universal health care, you've seen the SHA. It's working. Of course, some will politicize it, but all the same, we are paying. And also, in Singapore, we have this thing to do with saving. The president has also introduced us here. And we are saving. We are really saving. For those who have pay slips, Mike,
this is a whole different conversation.
Yes.
It's a different conversation, but thank you for your sentiments, Florence.
It is a distraction. You get it. Right now, of course, 2027 is here. And you can say the song outside there is two-term. You get it? So the president, for me, the president somehow, or rather, the people are shouting two-term, two-term. They're using all the ways possible. And you could, and like I told you before, the thing that works for the common wananchi is hope. They just give me hope. You understand? So the president is looking for another slogan, which he has actually found, the Singapore thing, and it's actually working for the common wananchi. They're like, oh, you know, they want to sing along with it and imagine themselves living in a country, you know, with the development factors, just like Singapore. And it's working for him. So it's just something that he's going to work with into the two-term thing. It's going to make people to vote him in with. You understand? Yeah. So for me, I would say it's not for the in good faith or for the benefit of the common wananchi.
Hello.
Yeah.
Well, as a true patriot of my country and as a Pan-African, I'm optimistic about my country, Kenya, and I know we can attain a first world economy. And look at it, Kenya is a richly endowed country in terms of natural resources, ranging from arable land, vast minerals, wildlife, and even natural fresh waters in form of rivers and lakes. What we need to do is that we also have skilled manpower and a youthful population that is capable of working. But we cannot talk our way into a first world economy. We must act. So 3 things. We must fight only one monster, corruption. Again, we must put and only embrace only one standard, meritocracy. And above all, we must uphold only one checkpoint, that is accountability. Then we will go far.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you so much for making time to come and just give your views regarding matters to do with the vision that the president has expressed in as far as attaining the first world status is concerned. I've been talking to Larry Chisiangani from UDA, also who is an aspiring he's a senatorial aspirant, and also Florence Ayo, youth leader and governance advocate, and also Alo Danish, youth leader and bioscientist. This conversation ends now, but Entertainment Thursday now kickstarts officially in just a little bit. My name is Mike Migu. Thank you for tuning in. Stay with us.
Kila Jumamosi saa 1 jioni kuna sauti mbili zinazotawala anga ya habari. Dada wawili pacha, magwiji wa ulingo wa habari.
Karibu sana katika Dira ya Magwiji.
Magwiji kwa upekee wa sauti, mtindo na maarifa.
Katika enzi ya sasa iliyosheheni mabadiliko,
tuko ange kukuletea taarifa, fafanuzi kutoka kila pembe ya dunia.
Jamila na Wanjiru wanakupeleka kwenye safari ya taarifa, uchambuzi na uhodari wa matukio yanayotikisa dunia.
Tunajizatiti kukupa taarifa sahihi na kwa wakati.
Habari kwa jicho la kitaalam.
Tuna hamu na hamamu katika kuuliza maswali stahiki yenye kuwajibisha,
na sauti ya uhalisia.
Tupe sikio na macho kwa taarifa za kina.
Dira ya Magwiji, pacha wa habari, kila Jumamosi saa 1 jioni hapa KBC Channel 1.
Kauko na mimi high five. Kauko na mimi high five. Kauko na mimi
How do you heal? How do you move on, whether it's in relationships, whether it's with family, with friends?
So when I hear about healing, one, I believe it's all about clarity and stability when you're making your decisions.
Loving is not a feeling. It is an action. It is to give that love that is required. And so that is why I believe you cannot at all. You can't keep love that person and you're still healing.
I put my hope in you, for you are the lifter of my head.
This is a conversation about changing systems, rebuilding dignity, and of course, proving that there definitely is life beyond the bars.
Shock on me. This officer says to me, I'm actually here to arrest you. From that point on, the wrongful prosecution begins. I am a convicted felon in this country. The friends I had, all the contacts, everyone has disappeared. So reality checks in. And it's a very harsh reality. Poverty does not equate criminality. So let us change that in this country and see to it that the opposite of justice is not inequality.
Hello again. It's all about football here, and we're here to bring you a fascinating encounter between Arsenal and United. London the setting for today's game, and I hope you're looking forward to this as much as we are. Well, I think it's about time we joined our commentators, so we'll go live and commentating on today's game. Something a bit special out there today.
Kachamani una Arsenal, gani kali kachamani una Arsenal. Kachamani una Arsenal, gani kali kachamani una Arsenal. Swali bajo DJ, gani kali mse. Kachamani na Arsenal utawezana kize. Sababu ni akiwete tukipofu na maiti Henry. Arsenal nyamtosha. Tangu 203 mpaka 204. Nani kati yenyu hapa anasai kize. Premier League say, mnasai wasai. Basi Arsenal yeah, Arsenal yeah. Arsenal yeah, Arsenal wenye masa. Everybody defense yetu boss kamule. Champions unusi, Yera, captain mzee ama ujuzi. Upuzi, manyu tuko hapa tuonyosha mikono juu. Arsenal mtadu. Bona pupa na gana kwa super. Tukishinda genzi chupa niko chupa. Kachamani una Arsenal, gani kali kachamani una Arsenal. 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 Wayne Rooney boy, Van Nistelrooy, Cristiano Ronaldo hatari kwenye lango. Weni Arsenal ya mamani dawe. Swali tukulize ndo nipate jibu we. Pende usipende hapa bado si United. Welcome on Trafford, Red Devils na bado. Arsenal wetu kocha game plan ni gado. Level jazi all to my fans na bado. Kando pale. Man mambo pole. Pole ndio megeuza mtindo. Sore leo ndio tegeuza wimbo we. Kunja mifupa tu Alex bado Ferguson. Kunja mifupa tu Vunja Henry. Kushikana shati repo yezi kuwa possible. Mario Arsenal chunga sije kuwa basi. Kachamani una Arsenal, gani kali kachamani una Arsenal. Kachamani una Arsenal, gani kali kachamani una Arsenal. Kachamani una Arsenal, gani kali kachamani una Arsenal. Kachamani una Arsenal, gani kali kachamani una Arsenal.
Yeah. Eyo, zona jomko na ikuja walai. YTB number 9. Octopi double C. Yeah. Check it man.
Vibes on the track.
Walidana by Subaru watakuwa wameacha legacy. Okto niko jua madawa nkamekalia pharmacy. Brain iko full ato jinge ziulize vacancy unataka kwa kami. Kama IGB then hang na si. Bado nakunywa charm. Zangu ni mahanesi. Kuja na attitude kuingize maira kama si tunawemesha tunawachwa tu kitokwa na makama si mafuta ikiisha tutapika na makabasi. Kula chungwa na ndizi mimi nitakula na nasi. Niko mbele wako nyuma kwa wafuasi hizo daily doze. Nuwa choma kapa so na come so slow. You track iko kasi sai na mekdo mtu wangu niko kazi. Mtanaenda na maziwa juko rap game mimi ni mzazi. Cost ya kila kitu imepanda. Kwenda Mombasa mtu wangu ulize. Bei ya mnazi namba 8 wapi? Namba 8 on top. Octopizo wapi? Octopizo on top. So get that moolah, buy that ndula. Say get that moolah, buy that ndula. YGB wapi? YGB on top. Octopizo wapi? Octopizo on top. So get that moolah, buy that ndula. Say get that moolah, buy that ndula. Spit fire, then I let it burn like Asha. Corrupt game na dai cash ka Akasha. First class picnics nipate Naivasha. Corona model wa super kakina Natasha. Tembei na wallet, dope wa bahasha. Walijona the storm say now make rasha. Who's smarter now? Si wewe, niko juu yao na wakimbia kama mwewe. Okto, aka itisha upewe. YGB, aka itisha ulewe. Just a minute, tota nimalize kuchana. Na si nywele, hivi jiti plantation za Kericho. Washati na kabari itabidi nimewashika. Mashati ni wagote, hata kuliko wanati jukikuja ni rap game my own ish kama bato. Octopizo wapi? Octopizo on top. Number 8 wapi? Number 8 on top. So get that moolah, buy that moolah. Say get that moolah, buy that moolah. YGB wapi? YGB on top. Octopizo wapi? Octopizo on top. So get that moolah, buy that moolah. Say get that moolah, buy that moolah.
Uko kami ndani ya club na mezani. Ukituona ndani ya club samahani. Hawa magrupi ndani ya fane na mnagane. Tukipatana ndani ya club ho niaje. Tukipatana ndani ya club bro niaje. Tukipatana ndani ya club ho niaje. Uko kami ndani ya club na mezani. Ukituona ndani ya slam
2006 nashika nazika naandika mistari mizani methali mezani ulithani ni nani amekuja kubadili famili zote za ghetto na mento vitendo minendo. Hebu punguza mapupa za media kipindi ni ya MAU double penye si struggle kupita through milango za dancehall ni jasho za dando. Iwe hardcore makomasho tuko macho anko nipe heshima lazima hasla tashiba kabla nipekeja teja fadhali we kilema hema kabla unalejela mzela tingika na mabega kubali we ni memba wahenga walisema game akisifiwa simu utazidiwa
Biko flani ndani ya club na mezani. Ukituona ndani ya club samahani. Hawa magrupi ndani ya fane na mnagane. Tukipatana ndani ya club ho niaje. Tukipatana ndani ya club bro niaje. Tukipatana ndani ya club ho niaje. Uko flani ndani ya club na mezani. Ukituona ndani ya slam.
Oh, that's how princess of hip-hop and R&B.
She's coming.
Yeah, Mr. Shanti.
Boy, you fill me with so much joy. You get whatever it is I need. My love, here to stay, won't never leave. So glad that you fell in love with me. My love is so good that I wouldn't be without you, babe. Couldn't see me without you, babe.
eti vipi misijui, nina imani mapenzi hayajui, nitapata ugonjwa wa moyo kwa sababu ya mawazo, ninavyojua maisha yake hajawahi kuwa na boyfriend, ila ni mimi wa kwanza na ninashindwa kumpata, kwa ishara inaonekana anipenda yeye, eti mimi namzingua, eti kama angelikuwa nasikia basi ukweli wangu angeujua, kwa ishara inaonekana anipenda yeye, eti mimi namzingua, eti kama angelikuwa nasikia basi ukweli wangu angeujua, ningemzoea rafiki yake, basi mimi ningemtuma, ningezitambua ishara zake kwa kimi ningefika, ningemzoea rafiki yake, basi mimi ningemtuma, ningezitambua ishara zake kwa kimi ningefika. Sisili ninampenda binti kisiri, moyo wangu umoteka binti kisiri, sisili na tesi juu yake ye binti kisiri.
Mapenzi tu, hakuna mwingine maishani, ni wewe tu. Vile unatabasamu kila saa, inabaki nimekaa, nibaki nimezubama. Na hii ni kweli ma, nisikufiche ma, hii ni mapenzi kutoka kwa roho ma. Ningependa kueleza jinsi umenifanya nikakupenda, ndo ninasema you're my only strength, you're my only weakness, you're the kind of girl I want to be seen with. Niwe wako wa milele, tupendane mpaka mwisho, tukaenda tupendane, cause it's, I wanna spend the rest of my life with. Nataka tuwe na family, I mean, nataka tuishi nawe pamoja, we're all together forever and ever.
I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Nataka tuwe na family, me and you. Tuishi nawe pamoja, we're all together forever and ever. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. And don't release me. Anything you say, I'll do. Anything you want, I'll give. Baby, your love is taking me to places I never knew. Prisoner, prisoner. Umenishika, shika. Prisoner, prisoner. Penzi lako limenifunga.
I'm a gentleman. I'm a gentleman. Uhealthy na kunywa get my vitamins. Mgenge sipenda get my vitamin. Don't go fresh. Napiga shaba na dunge meresh. Most buga sina get trash. Ata my skin tone high na get raw. Cheers, I like your mini skirt. Relax, sipenda get my shortcut. The more nakana mimi, the more nakuhead. Uko set, uko fresh. Kaspel kako go kampo wana mo edge. Mademu wangu si wacha be sweep. Mio cheers now zip. Chekini nimefunga zip. Weniambie sinani, anakujaga na nani kwa nani. Nasikiaga na mpiaga nini kwa nini. Leo wewe umedunga kamini bila nini. Usiulize ni nini, usiulize mi nini. I'm a gentleman, you say yeah. Nipate baby kwenye bar, uliza shore what you drinking. You know you're rolling with a gentleman. Now uliza utapewa nini. Nipate baby kwenye bar, uliza shore what you drinking. You know you're rolling with a gentleman. Now uliza kama vipi nataka kwenda na
tamashani. Hani twende tukaplay. Tabia hii naomba usimilete. Jua mimi siwezi kwenda nawe. Tafuta mwingine wako wengi mitaani. Haiwezekani ni kwenda nawe. Wewe kwangu ndiye una thamani. Ndio maana naomba kwenda nawe tamashani. Chumba wewe usinizuge. Tena kama vipi naomba ukaoge. Mistaki. Mambo hayo nimesema mistaki. Tena pisha. Tena naomba wachane nami kabisa. Tatizo nini mama? Linasababisha unakataa. Wewe ni wangu mama. Ukikataa utaninyima raha. Kama vipi nataka kwenda nawe. Au kama vipi nenda kajiandae. Basi kama vipi twende wote tamashani. Hani, hani, hani.
Tusaidiane kwenye raha na shida, usimdharau mwenye njaa kwa kuwa wewe umeshiba. Maisha safari ndefu isiyoeleweka, leo wewe unalia mwenzako kule anacheka. Usimtukuze tu mwenye nyumba na gari, kumbuka maskini na utajiri zote hali. Unavyodhani ndivyo sivyo, sivyo ndivyo, dunia ndivyo ilivyo, kuna bana matatizo. Kama leo umepewa basi mshukuru Muumba, na kama umekosa ongeza bidii na sio ndumba. Mwenzio akiwa nazama mrushie kamba, sikie kilio cha mtu mzima Bongo mpaka Uganda. Unavyodhani ndivyo sivyo, maisha ni safari isiyokuwa na likizo. Yaongeza msisitizo, kama usimsahau mwenye matatizo. Wapi walikuwa nazo na sasa wana tena wamebaki na viulizo. Waliaitwa maskini leo wamezipata, imekuwa sivyo.
Mshikaji wangu waipisikia. Mtoto mmoja nilimfunia. Anasema tumpate moro. Kule nakotoka wapogoro. Yeko ninasije. Tukipata tuonekana wadhaifu. Wewe unaonaje? Wewe umechukuliaje? Kama mtoto hangeshuka da. Anasema kujada hatuweza. Kwa nini? Pia wenzao kugombeza. Yeyote sababu yupo skuli. Akimaliza mbona itakuwa shwari. Sijifanye una uhakika wewe chege. Sijikuonekana sisi ni mabwege. Labda kwa chuka mraya. Na sisi hatuna kitu itakuwaje. Mambo safi kwa kuna noti. Kisha mdodo cheki mtoto glumbe. Toto safi kwenye friji kila kitu kosi. Inge na yudevu kicheki mikosi. Sana bibi cheke twende moro. Haya. Mama waipi twende moro. Haya. Mama dadi mtakuja moro. Yes, bibi kwanza twende na masera.
Natafuta msichana hata ni exciter. Kama huyo msichana ngaramini taita. I was looking at you cause you are looking at me. Ooh, can't you see that this is chemistry? Macho yako yanameta kama star. Na umbo lako lanifanya ulala. And if you like me and what you see, I can organize some privacy. Cause you are deadly, shapeless, sexy. Especially when you move around to the sound, you come around eventually. Deadly, shapeless, sexy. Especially when you move around to the sound, you come around eventually.
Atoti nyaluka. Mi hata sijuangi the lyrics, but that song it's ageless. DJ, I don't know what you think about that song, but that song never gets old.
Yeah, true.
It's near kitambo, yes, but it never gets old.
It will never.
Whoever wrote that song, this giddy giddy maji at the time were the thing. But yes, that is how your Entertainment Thursday is going to turn out today. Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. We are still continuing with Entertainment Thursday. My name is Mike Migwe. Now we get to another artistic conversation. And when I say artistic conversation, rest assured it's artistic. And in studio I'm joined by King Rick, who is a visual artist. King Rick, ukwaje?
Mimi niko poa.
Yeah. Habari leo?
Mimi niko poa kabisa. Traffic kidogo.
Yes.
Ningechelewa lakini Mungu amefanya vizuri. At least nimefika in good time.
Yes. Yeah. And we appreciate that actually. You describe yourself as a visual artist. Yeah. Maybe just a brief introduction of who you are and how your journey started as a visual artist.
So my official name is Eric. I'm Eric Moremi. I'm an artist and I'm a leader as well. I'm a criminologist. I'm so many things.
Yes.
This artwork here is kind of my CV.
Yeah.
It tells you everything about me. It tells you about my education background. It tells you.
Yes.
It tells you about my education background, my ambition, my aspirations, everything, and it also tells you I'm an artist as well. So I try to feature everything that I do in the smallest space I get, you know, because sometimes you don't have enough time to like express yourself. So if you get the smallest chance, you use it to your best. So I try to use the paper I get and the small space available to communicate as much as I can. That's why you can see, in as much as it's visual art, there's more to the artwork than just the picture.
Yeah.
There's the writing, so much writings. I try to express everything that I'm feeling at that time. Yeah.
So it depends with what you're feeling at that time and how you want to express that.
Yeah.
But then again, you are criminology, criminal justice, public safety, and then now visual artist. Inaingiana aje sasa hapo?
Hiyo ni swali mzuri juu hata mimi siwezi kuambia haswa inaingiana aje. Mimi sema everything happens according to God's plan.
Yes.
Like we cannot really tell. You know, I wanted to be a lawyer. I didn't actually want to do criminology. Criminology just came to me. Like I'd say I wanted to do law my whole life since I was a kid. I actually applied to do law, but criminology ilikuja nikiwa in high school nikienda kumaliza. That's when I started. I talked to someone. He was talking about how investigations are interesting, you know. Like alinifanya ni feel ni kama naweza taka kupursue something yenye iko No, law inaku confine kwa courtroom.
Yes.
Like you do not have the freedom to explore. But when it's criminology now, you know, it's a scientific study of crime. So like you have a bigger space to influence.
Yes.
There's so many things. You learn criminal law. Criminal law, I think, is the most important law to know. Yeah, so you learn criminal law. Then the criminology also inakupatia nafasi unaweza enda kwa the legal field. Like unaweza work kwa law firm and everything. So I didn't feel like I'm losing. So I decided to pursue it. Actually, I applied for criminology in all the campuses.
All right. Yeah. You know, unajua kuna mtu anaona your artwork for the first time, like the one you have described here.
Yeah.
If you're to describe it, your artistic style, kwa mtu mwenye anakuona sahi for the first time, how would you describe it?
The artwork, I'd say, the artwork, no, it's hard to describe it because it has so much. There's poetry in the artwork, there's literature. So like it's so hard to pinpoint like my art is, like in this piece in particular, it starts off with a song, and then there's another song, and then there's a bit of writings, a description, then a song. You see, like there's so much in the artwork. I try to, I'm not very good, my sound, voice yangu si mzuri sana ya kuimba, but I try, so I also add it in the artwork. So most people do visual art, you go to like a gallery, you just have your wine and you're just walking around ukiangalia. But now in mine, I want to engage the audience as well.
Yeah.
So I pick lyrics that are familiar to everyone, you know, so that the audience can also, when you come to my exhibition, for instance, you won't go home with just drunk after drinking the wine. Yeah, you're going to go, at least you have enjoyed, you have participated, you know. Yeah, I give like people a chance to also, you know, I'm not very good at singing, sindio?
So I give hakuna sauti. Hata mimi najua kuimba lakini sina sauti.
Sauti nakataa kidogo. Especially when it matters.
Yes.
Kama sio ukiniambia niimbe. Lakini when now I have an audience, naweza pata kuna mtu ako good at kuimba, then nimpatie pia nafasi ya kujisell. I'm not just doing the art for me. Like I try to, nikifanya the poetry and everything, I'm giving everyone a chance to shine pamoja na mimi. I don't want to
So
go
there's a
alone.
chance that they are immersing yourself in your craft, but also there's a chance for them to express themselves.
Exactly.
Very nice. You know, one thing about creativity, you must draw an inspiration from somewhere for you to maybe formulate an art piece that you want to come up with. Maybe from your perspective, nini ukupea hiyo inspiration? Is it observation, emotion, or even unaweza kaa hivi uimagine kitu uichore?
Actually, mi husema, I'm more of a writer than mchoraji. Mi ni mwandishi anaweza chora. More than mchoraji anaweza andika. I write more than I draw, you know. So I'd say, when I'm writing, it feels like it's not enough. Yeah, like the words are not enough to express what I'm feeling, you know. Then I bring it now. Nona, when I'm explaining a point to you, inaweza kuwa ngumu kuexplainia exactly what I'm trying to say, but nikikuchorea, now you can get it better. Yeah, I can be able to explain sasa ukiona, you know.
Yeah, and you know, let's say you have a blank canvas. Walk us through your creative process now, bringing that idea to life that you have in mind.
There's nothing I love more than a plain paper. Like just having, you know, a plain paper represents opportunity. Like there's so much you can do on a plain paper. So like a blank canvas, that's, I first take time, I look at it, I look at the potential it carries. Yeah, like, then I don't want to waste the paper. I love the paper, so I value it so much. So I don't want to waste it. I don't want ati nimechora, then now I'm tearing it. No, I want to do it. Ninaka kwanza, I take a few, naweza hata chukua 1 hour, nimekaa tu nikiangalia, nikifikiria. Because you have to draw it first in your mind before you put it down on paper. You know? So I just sit nayo, nakaa, natembea kidogo, narudi, naiangalia. Then now I start drawing.
Do you know, I hear writers have this writer's block. Sometimes you have a plain sheet of paper, you want to write, but it's your mind is like blocked. Do you have those moments where you have like an artistic block? Yes, you have a canvas there with you, empty, not drawn anything. Do you have those moments when you have that block?
It happens to everyone.
How do you deal with that?
Now I think God alinisave from a writer's block by kunifanya pia naweza chora. Because now when I'm seated and I don't know what to write, I can start sketching something, then it inspires what I write.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. DJ, unajua kuchora ama niachana na wewe?
Nilikuwa najua kuchora kando class 4. Sijui, I don't know what happened along the way.
Yes.
But it is what it is.
You should go back to your drawing classes.
Watu husema hivyo. Nasikianga watu wengi wakisema nilikuwa nachora nikiwa mdogo.
Yeah.
But you know unakosea God. Yeah. Juu ulikuwa unachora ukiwa mdogo, ilifika wapi sasa umeachana na kuchora, umepata kitu ingine better than kuchora, na hiyo kitu ni kazi yenye unafanyia mtu. Na get like God amekupatia kazi yake ufanye. Yes. Ukiwa mdogo ulikuwa unafanya lakini haukuendeleza, uliacha kando ndo ufanye hii kazi nyingine ya binadamu. Unaona?
We are going to come back and continue this conversation after we come back from this short break. We are talking to King Rick, who is a visual artist. Stay with us.
Nasema wewe ni manzi. Manzi ya pasta ama manzi ya nani hapa?
Shemanzi, Asha kanisani.
Wewe ni muamini wa hiyo kanisa? Hapana. Very nice. Hiyo ni ya kwanza, maka watu walimheshimiwa.
Nimekwambia uulize maswali.
Nikieleza hii mahakama, mimi hiyo pesa nilikuja nikachukua nikatoa, nikawa kiondo ilikuwa imejaa. Nikatoa nikaweka kwa mfuko ndio zisimwakike. Nitakuwa naeleza mahakama ulangu.
Sheria ya kanisa pale pakijaa anaruhusiwa kuchukua pesa yote.
Sasa ningewacha simwakike mheshimiwa kusema
ulikuwa
unatoa katika mifuko ya tai. Wewe ni Asha wa hiyo kanisa?
Aje hapana, mimi ni Islam.
Very good. Walk out. Usiniletee Kiislamu hapa.
Arda?
Yes.
I would whisper I do to my beautiful ebony eyes. So we're going on a summer holiday to make our dreams come true. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Tell me how am I supposed to live without you? I've got rivers to cross, but just where to begin?
Je, wewe ni mpenda soka? Na je, wajua kuwa KBC mwenzio wako wa dhati michezoni anakujali? Ndio maana KBC Channel 1 hukuletea taarifa na uchambuzi wa soka.
CAF ndio wamechukua usukani
humu nchini, barani Afrika na ugaibuni, ikiwemo EPL, Serie A, Bundesliga na ligi zingine. Mashabiki pia hutuzwa kwa kujibu maswali kuhusiana na soka.
Swali letu la leo.
Haya yote ni kwenye kipindi cha Dunda Dunda kwenye KBC Channel 1 kila Ijumaa kuanzia saa 5 asubuhi hadi saa 6:30 mchana.
Na imiza Wakenya waendelee ku watch Dunda Dunda show.
KBC, wenzio wa dhati michezoni.
Welcome back to Entertainment Thursday. We are talking to King Rick, who is a visual artist. And, you know, there are a lot of drawings that he has here, a lot of artwork that he has here. But before we get to them, I want to understand from you, King Rick. What stories or messages do you find yourself going back to every time you're, or most time that you're drawing, most time that you're writing? What kind of messages do you find yourself going back to?
Before we went on the, before we took the break, we were talking about how kuna ile kazi God amekupatia, si ndio?
Yeah.
So I feel like because I'm advocating for kazi ya God alikupatia, now I cannot be talking about that and I'm not solving what I feel he requires us to talk about, what I feel he wants us to solve. No. So it's environmental conservation, the struggle of an artist, kwa sababu our artists no watu wanang'ang'ana kufanya hiyo kazi ya God. But sasa struggle inakuanga ngumu sana kutoboa as an artist. So like naelewa, so your pain yenye watu wanapitia, the pain yenye environment inapitia, like pain I think no inakuanga inspiration yangu. Like si pain yangu ni pain yenye na feel nikiona what is going on around. No. So that is what inspires my artwork.
Yeah, and you know, art, in as far as art is supposed to be beautiful, it's supposed to be seen, it's also supposed to be visually aesthetic. How much interpretation do you leave for the audience, for your audience, for them to figure it out?
Actually, I don't think it's possible to completely figure out my artwork. Rona, like I explain so much, like it's still elusive. Like I cannot explain everything. Unaona kama umeshika. That artwork has so many things ndani yake, such that hata tukianza kuziongelea siwezi maliza siwezi maliza kuexplain, like siwezi maliza kuidescribe. So hata nikikuelezea everything, hata ukuje uione, we appreciate we mwenyewe, it will take you some time. Like utaimaliza
Actually, this is a very beautiful piece.
Thank you.
And I think from my understanding, it talks about, it's pointing towards environment, matters to do with environment. Maybe you could a little bit explain this artwork to the audience.
So the artwork is Alkebulan. Alkebulan is the original name for Africa.
Yes.
So the artwork is Mother Nature, because now the earth is in a womb, which is what I think the earth is. It's like a sort of the womb of nature. You know, like we're surviving inside nature's womb. Yeah, so it also has the racial aspect, because tunaulizananga is God white, is God black, so it's both. Alafu pia nimeifanya in such a way that hata hii yenye iko side yenye iko white bado iko na some black, so wazungu wanaweza sema this is a black side, this is so there is no black, there is no white, you know. That we should actually be done with that conversation. So when we are damaging the
lift vizuri ndio ionekana kwa kamera vizuri, ndio hiyo.
So tukichafua mazingira and everything, we are destroying the conditions inside the womb of Mother Nature. So Rona, it's not right. No, but if we let artists describe what they are feeling, because they are the ones who see and are able to like to express what they are feeling about what they see. You see, like, but we are not giving them the opportunity to express to us what they are saying. It's artists talk about what we are all thinking, but they are the only ones who can be able to bring it out in a way that everyone can understand. But we are not giving them that chance, you know. We are not giving the struggling artist anaonekana kama cheese, yuko anatembea akiwa mchafu and everything. You see, like we should give them an opportunity watufunze ni nini hiyo yenye iko ndani yao. Juu wakileta nje sasa everyone will understand and we can be able to solve. Juu sasa tukisema Mother Nature is a womb and then I draw Mother Nature as a womb, as a woman, and then the womb, you see, I am better explaining what I'm feeling and we can solve that problem in a describe.
DJ,
yes.
Ulikuwa na swali?
Kuna, I think it's the same na the one that I'm
project, yes.
This one, there's an article here. Actually, it's the same question that I wanted to ask about the relationship of this statement, the environment conservation, and the pregnant woman here, around here. So kama mnaweza icheki.
It's a very beautifully drawn.
Yeah, very beautiful article here. So I just wanted to know the correlation between the pregnant woman and the statement about the environment conservation. Yes.
I don't think we can talk about anything at all without appreciating the beauty of a woman. Like, a woman gives life. I actually have a small theory that the woman was created first, but that's a story for another day. Because it makes more sense, you know. Like, the woman is in a garden, you know, like she's appreciating the flowers, giving names. Hata wewe ukipata mtoto, nani anapatia jina ya kwanza? See, it's the mother. Like, akona majina kama 20 to pick from, you know. Yeah, so, hiyo pia inanichanganyanga kidogo. I'm like, labda the lady was put to a deep sleep, then the Lord conceived ndani yake, kamtoto kakakuja, and then that's the helper. But that's a theory yenye mimi sijui. You will think about it, probably will not. Tuendelee na mambo vile iko, but as an artist, hauna option but to think about everything deeply and to express what you're feeling. So
there's another drawing there.
Acha kwanza nimalize ku explain. So really nilikuwa na explain mbona nimeweka the lady and the pregnant lady and the flower. The flower, a fertilized flower, inakuanga ready to give forth a fruit.
Yes.
And that is what the lady is. The fruit is inside the womb.
Yes.
Sindio? And then the message on the artwork hapa, I'll take you back a bit to 2014. 2014, I fell in love with the environment. In 2014, I was beginning my writing journey. Kakitabu hata kamezeeka. I'm like a walking museum because I started my journey a long time ago. So at least hii nilikuwa na date kazi. So this July 2014, I started writing a book. I had written another one, so hii ilinionyesha naweza andika kitabu. So I decided to write a book about the environment, about environmental conservation. That was in June 16th, July 2014.
Yes.
The book ilikuwa title ni Knowing the Earth is My Business by Eric Moremi. So hii kitabu inaongelea Wangari Maathai, inaongelea vile nilikuwa na watu hata shule walikuwa wananiita Wangari Maathai because I started an organization inaitwa YICAPRO.
Yes.
YICAPRO. That's Youth Environmental Conservation and Poverty Reduction Youth Group. That was a group I started in high school. So mkiokota makaratasi mnaitwa machizi, mnaitwa Wangari Maathai, environmental, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I had some support. Wengine wakuni support. Hiyo ni normal sana kwa hii life. So I decided to start doing flyers. Hiyo ilikuwa 2014 bado. I started doing flyers for sensitization about the environment. The artwork yenye ameshika sasa, now getting to my point. Hii statement yenye the lady anaongea hapa, it is the same message I had on the hii kazi ya 2014. So it's a way of bringing now back to connect the circle, you know, to complete the story. So it's a dedication to Wangari Maathai. The title of the artwork is Muta. Muta is a middle name.
Yes.
She's Wangari Muta Maathai.
Yes.
So Muta is the artwork name. It's She started an organization inaitwa the Green Belt Movement.
Yes.
Yes. That's why it's also a CC. There's a carbon copy hapa chini in Mira. CC to the Green Belt.
Very much. You know,
so like basically I'm trying to communicate the message yenye nilikuwa nayo your time hata sahi because it's the same message. The same work yenye nilipatiwa nikiwa mtoi bado ndo niko naendelea sahi.
Unaendeleza. Now when you look at visual art today, what you do say is can it be used for personal or commentary expression, or it can also be as a form of social expression?
Actually, I think when you're using it as a for personal purposes, or like that's being selfish with your talent. It's actually supposed to be social. You're supposed to be doing it for the society. Most people do art for money. Like they just do it so that they can sell, and that's not right.
What do you think the role is its role when it comes to shaping conversations, especially when it comes to matters that affect the masses?
Art is a conversation starter. Kama sasa hii nikianza kuongelea hii, let's use this one. Nikitumia hii and then I'm saying that the lady is the tree of life, because and it's the tree in the middle of the garden. You see, that is a conversation. It's a deep conversation that starts another conversation and another conversation and another conversation. You know, like I have the freedom as an artist to begin conversations about anything, and that's a good thing. You know?
Do you have commercial interest when it comes to your work, your artistic work? And how do you balance that with your creative freedom?
What do you mean commercial interest?
Like you prepare art with the intention of selling?
No, I don't sell my work. It's connected. Like, so, you know, nikienda kwa moja inanituma kwa ingine. So if I sell this one now, the story won't be complete. So I prefer to have my art kiwa pamoja. There's a concept inakuanga in politics yenye watu wanasema you don't use your money to campaign. The society funds you because you are their leader. You know, I believe that is the same concept. See, when Jesus is sending the disciples, waende waka preach and everything, anawaambia usibebe anything, mta provide you everything. So you're not supposed to look at your own interest. No. Like you're just supposed to let God provide through the people.
Yes.
You know, like I believe artists wanafaa kusupportiwa. Unajua it's not easy to create. Like it's not easy, like it's painful. So ingine hata the message inakufanya unalia, ndo maana unachora hiyo kitu. Like they're supposed to be washikiliwe, wasapotiwe. Yeah, but sasa we are not doing that, so many of them wanakufa in depression.
Yes.
Which is the story behind us actually.
I wanted us to go there and because we have a few artistic displays that you have put there and just give us a feel of how the story goes, because each artistic work there tells a story. I think we should proceed there so that you can give us a good...
labda kufunga the environment thing, I registered a group, a project inaitwa World Support and Poverty Reduction youth group. That was in 2018. So ilikuwa continuation ya Yikapro.
Oh, nice.
Now I brought it down to paper.
All right. Let's come and explain to us what we are seeing here. So where do we start?
We start here. So tuseme, like in my case, for my story, nilimaliza shule, and then now you're wondering, where do you go from here? No. So unatokanga nyumbani with nothing. Like for the guy, mostly unanga anything, you just go with what you have, which is probably the clothes on your back and your degree. Unaona, hata kwa kabag hapa ni degree, unaona nimeandika. I have a degree in here and a CV and all papers and all other papers. Is this the job I was promised?
And I have to pay tax.
Manze. No, like una struggle ulisoma. Kama sahi tukienda kwa, I think tuenda tukiruka.
Yes.
Tukienda kwa hii naongelea greetings, your loan is in default. We intend to forward your loan account to the CRB for negative listing in 30 days. Hiyo ni help wanakuambia. Like ulisoma ukiona dreams, utapatiwa kazi, ukisoma chukua hii loan, utalipa ukiingia kazi hata utaifeel. Imagine hivyo ndo mtu anaambia ukiingia. Sasa unaingia shule, unasoma kwa bidii. Unatoka nje umebeba degree yako kwa bag yenye hata ina kitu ingine, you don't have anything. Umefika mahali nimeka nikonja tasiwezi karanga. Like that is the song that is describing the situation of that kijana.
Yes.
So unaona hata kona Crocs na socks imeraruka. Like that is the general kijana on the street right now. That is the same story I have. That's my story as well. Ukienda hapa, when you go to your friends, like you're in the middle of people. You have probably family on this side, their friends on that side. Kila mtu ako na kitu. You see they have something they are eating, uko hapo tukatikati umejikunja, you don't have anything, you know. That is actually the situation, Joe. Unaenda anauliza, everyone is somewhere doing something. I have tried everything, but nothing is working. I'm starving yet none is willing to share. So unawanda, mbona ubeshti yangu haniconnect na kwenye anatoanga, juu ashatoka block, mbona haniambii vile mimi nitatoka, unaona. So hii basically inajaribu kusema acha nitumie lyrics za Nyashinski. Bebe Nyashinski is I'd say my inspiration inatokanga kwa ngoma zake pia. I feel like we draw inspiration from the same source. You know. So like natumia ngoma yake. Hii ni mtu yote ako na dream. Siku moja Joe ni wewe atita king. You see like he's preparing the next generation, ujiamini. So umse ndo anaongeleshwa. Naambiwa hii ni mtu yako na dream. Like wewe amini tu dream yako ndani yako, ukiinacha you are also going to get your own plate. Usingoje kupatiwa food kutoka kwa any side. Invest in yourself, invest in your dream.
What about this?
That's the girl child, she's also suffering. Hatuwezi sema the girl child ati ya suffer. Hata wana suffer juu kuna stories nimesikia unaenda kutafuta job. Ladies ni ukweli wanapata job sana kuliko majamaa, but in actual sense unaweza pata wanadhalilishwa before upate hiyo kazi. Like sasa ukikuwa hautaki unarudi ushago. So huyu amebeba bags 3 za fertilizer. Unaona ametoka subsidized fertilizer. Ili lazima utumie kiondo sasa uweze kusoma. So subsidized fertilizer ametoka kubai, ametoka kuchukua au kubai. Tupatiwe free tunanunua. So ametoka kubai fertilizer. Ndio ya mzigo kubwa imemlemea. And then now it's not just her. When I'm talking about ladies, I talk about more than just the lady. It's mother nature as well. So the bags kona song ndani. Hiyo mzigo ni a song napenda sana. It's a country music I think. Yeah, Shimoni. Yeah, there's a song about Shimoni. Like that's the lyrics I have on that.
Yeah.
Because it's the burdens that the African alibeba. You know, like it's basically the struggle. So nilieka in the same artwork.
All right.
Yeah.
There's something I'm seeing as a constant here.
Yeah.
Writings that are not, I'd say they're not legible, but you've written them in a manner that you cannot just read.
Yeah.
It's like you have to put a mirror there for you to read.
Yeah.
So what's the idea? What's the inspiration behind that?
So if you remain faithful to God, by the way, now hii sasa nikwambie tu kweli, if you remain faithful, kazi yenye alikupatia anaendeleanga kukufungulia milango pole pole. Now see, in 2014 I started the environment thing. Hiyo ni kitu ninge trend nayo. Naona because uni kijana mdogo anafanya the environment thing.
Yes.
I had written a book before, nilikuwa nimeongelea. Niliandika kitabu about basketball. This was a book, I love basketball, so niliandika ndo niingie kwa team ya basketball na niliuze pia, at least I get something. So niliunda kitabu ya kwanza, then ikani-inspire kuandika ya pili. So ya pili ingenisaidia kutrend zaidi, unaona? But now I thought about it and I decided to go deeper instead of sell out. Naona? So I decided to go deeper. In 2018 ndo nimekuonyesha, I went to the World Support.
Yes.
You see, I was still in the environment thing.
Yes.
Then nikaendelea, sasa I went deeper and deeper into writing and thinking, and then I got better at artwork, at kuchora. Oh, I have the environment, I have the books, I have the kuchora.
Yeah.
Like naweza trend nayo.
Yeah.
So I decided to hata hiyo kuweka kando.
Yes.
In 2017 I started doing photography. I'm actually King Rick photographer. Yeah, King Rick I have a King Rick photography as well. So I did photography for 3 years. Pia, the art plus the photography plus the environment plus the books, like I have so much naweza trend nayo. No, but I decided hiyo kuweka kando.
Yeah.
In 2021 kamera yangu ikaibiwa. I stopped doing photography. I was forced to go back to the village. Then I prayed a lot. God akani bless na sasa hiyo skill yenye unauliza. The mirror writing ni ukweli, when you look at the text inakaa wanasema kitu but inakaa foreign language. That is mirror writing. Yeah.
Mirror writing.
Yani mirror writing yenye unaandika normally but sasa lazima uweke kiondo ipindue.
Very nice.
Inasema ni something neurological.
Yeah.
Like I can be able to use both hemispheres of my brain at the same time.
Now, actually what you're seeing on your screen is how you do the mirror writing now. That is a clip that you have.
That is simultaneous mirror writing.
Wow.
I can also use both hands at the same time.
How easy or hard is that?
It's very easy for me. I actually don't understand how it's only me who can do it. I don't know.
So as we close this conversation, for anyone who wants to get into visual artistic work, they feel they have the talent and they want to get into it, how would you advise them?
Yeah, I'd say actually you don't struggle. Okay, see, nimeongelea Nyashinsky. If you listen to him well, unasikianga anasema he brings it raw vile inakuja. Like he doesn't question the inspiration, anaitoanga tu raw vile inatoka. Unaona? Vile inafaa kutoka. So like inspiration inakujanga ikiisha jipanga. But you don't struggle. You don't have to struggle so much. Unajua inaweza kaa so complicated. Your kazi ni complicated, but it's not. Like you just start from somewhere, you grow pole pole, and the inspiration comes from within. Inatoka ndani. So like if you believe in God, God atakuprovidea.
Indeed. Asante sana King Rick.
Thank you.
We thank you for making time to just come and show
thank
your
you for
talent
having me.
and also explaining how things are done when it comes to visual artistic work that you do. That is King Rick speaking to us here on Entertainment Thursday on what he does in as far as artistic work is concerned. Before we end, maybe what is this?
No, I won't go into it much. I'll just talk about who I dedicated it to. This is an art piece for Nyashinsky. Kuna song anasema anajua voice yake siku moja itamjengea statue. Yeah, so this is sort of my way of giving him that statue.
Nice.
In Yeriasu is his latest album. It's a very deep album. It's a deeply personal album to him. And I hope you get your artwork, Nyashinsky. I really need to meet you. Nikupatie hii kitu. Tuongee kidogo.
Shinsky, unasikia? King Rick amekutengenezea kitu. But asante sana for making time and coming to even share your talent with us.
Thank you for having me.
We end this conversation here. But then again, DJ is in the house and it's about time now we get get into the music part of the show. That is the roll call to the weekend right here on Entertainment Thursday. DJ, take it away.
Bongo la biashara au sio? Black market ama vile tumtani ita mra neza kupitia leo nikuonyesha ile kitu chemgani ni boma jioni ama usiku ni laptop noma kifotini TV mawaya ziko na screen yake ni fiti Celesity change ulisema aje nitemtoa sound iweke kwa gari kwenye ufa na macrom technology noma iongezee iPod tit madisha wacha mezi shavuta kio juu kuna moto nataka kuonyesha au kuna shughuli baadaye basi kuna mtu hapa lazima nimfungie kambi nasikia yuko na simu noma magafa kitokea utaniona tali yangu nenda gari sauti asikia madolari mindu badilisha bei ya kutupa Q70 baadaye nikute ngazini juu ya mete tali yangu imefunga beef tonani kesho ni ya leo tunaziuza 50 ni ya leo tumezifungwa tu saizi ni ya leo wejichukulie yako ni ya leo kwenye viatu na mng'aro
ruka juu babu banjuka juu life ni fupi na misi jifungi naweka shida chini na tupa mikono juu
The DJ other DJs wanna be. It's the one.
DJ Unique, the messenger.
What
moto ni moto. Dawa ya moto ni moto. Dawa ya moto tuna fimbo moto. Na dawa ya moto ni moto. Dawa ya moto ni moto. Noma sana. Dawa ya moto ni moto. Unajua noma sana. Dawa ya moto tuna fimbo moto. Na dawa ya moto ni moto. Welcome, welcome. Karibu dada. Well done. Haujakupa matibabu toto. Sindano ni ya ring ding. Usiogope medicine. Dr. Sita dawa ya moto ni moto. Yo, tunaleta joto. Vako ya makaa au marapa. Sindo wale uwajaza gas toka grandpa. Ita wabambadi mitali. Slick. Dawa ya moto ni moto.
Ring the alarm. This time kuna moto, we on fire. Oh Lord of mercy, 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 ni Rene.
Dawa ya moto ni moto. Kuna shida, love challenge grandpa musically feeder. Wanajua fimbo ni ya tatu inapiga. The wall of them a say love child pan the case. Dawa ya moto ni moto.
Tuko on fire, now watu wameshindwa kuzima moto. Tuko on fire, now watu wameshindwa kuzima moto.
Ita wazima moto, tuna fimbo moto. Na dawa ya moto ni moto ni moto.
California vitu nzuri, tunaendelea mbele, hakuna cha huzuni hapa, furani tele. Wana wamesahau mziki yangu bado ni genge, wana wanatudharau, tafadhali usifanye nicheke. Tutadangana jamani, merudi studio leo na nasikia poa, na najua mnapenda kusikia sauti yangu, kwa hivyo ngoma poa tu ndo tazidi kutoa. Unatulia nini bana, mka tuzitoke, unapanguza nini bana, wacha jasho imwagike kote. Ataka kuna ukame tunajituliza na maji baridi. Clemo raundi ameniambia nikute na ngoma mbili mbili. Moral wachi wabambe na mjipandishe juu ka bendera na mwimbe ngoma ka national anthem.
Nataka tu heshima yako, nataka tu furaha yako, ndio ujue mahali bidii yangu imetoka. Nataka tu heshima yako, nataka tu furaha yako, ndio ujue mahali bidii yangu imetoka.
Tumezana wewe watoto wanane, sasa waniacha, umesema umechoka na mimi masikini, sasa wanitupa, niende wapi na nifanye nini? Watoto wanalia huko nyumbani, lakini hizo mambo ni za duniani. Weweka raha mbele, wewe unioni njoki. Mbona umeniacha, umeniachia watoto mpaka wanalia huko nyumbani, njoki. Mbona umenitupa, mama napiga yako ndio kama ya chupa, njoki wewe. Mimi ndio mpenzi, usinitupe eti mimi sina mali, tafadhali. Au wa mapenzi wako na pesa lafu hawana mapenzi, hiyo ni kweli. Kamilio ndio mpenzi, usinitupe eti mimi sina mali, tafadhali. Au wa mabima wako na pesa lafu hawana mapenzi. Mbona umeniacha, mama niachia watoto mpaka wanalia huko nyumbani, njoki. Mbona umenitupa, mama napiga yako ndio kama ya chupa, njoki.
Yeah. Unajua, that Chameleon song takes you back to the early 2000s. That is when your song ilitokea back in. Ulikuwa wapi DJ hiyo time?
2000s.
Ulikuwa mahali.
Nilikuwa mahali.
You were somewhere.
But nilikuwa nishazaliwa.
Hivyo ndio unajitetea. Ulikuwa mahali. Ulikuwa ushazaliwa.
Exactly.
Okay. I think today's playlist is one that is speaking to millennials. You can rest assured that is a playlist that is speaking to millennials, because even some of the camera people here are saying, hey, leo umetukumbuka, leo DJ umetukumbuka.
Inabidi maze.
Waze, show imekuaje kwako DJ?
Show imekuwa fiti. Keeping in mind that is the last Thursday of this month of January.
Yes.
January imekuwa na yako imekuwa na miezi ngapi?
January.
Imekuwa mimi yangu nikaa imekuwa na siku 72.
January is usually a 6 month. January is a 6 month.
But all in all imekuwa fiti. At least we survive. We are over it right now.
Yes.
Show imekuwa fiti sana. Even the artist amekuwa mimi inspire tu sana.
He has actually a lot of he touches on very important issues, especially when it comes to environment, even expressing matters that affect even the young people and employment through artistry. That is something that is very inspiring actually. So this is where we are going to end the show, but haijaisha kabisa. Lazima we have some time to ourselves to dance and just ensure that we have a good time as we progress to the day. Weekend tunakupata wapi DJ?
Kama kawaida pale Jabu Bar and Lounge pale Kilimani, each and every Friday.
Yes.
Takonga pale tukianzia hapa sherehe.
Yes.
Tunamalizia wapi?
Yes.
Jabu Bar.
Thursday is the new Friday.
Yes.
Indeed. This is where Entertainment Thursday ends. We thank you for keeping us company. Let's do this once again next week, Thursday, same time, same station, where we do some good entertainment and make sure that we have elevated your good even as you go out there and achieve whatever that you have set out to achieve. My name is Mike Migu and I have been alongside DJ Unique. This is where we end this. Thank you for tuning in. Peace. DJ, fanya ile maneno.
Kama kawa.
Yes.
Unique.
Unacheka na nani? This time atucheki na nyinyi. Kutakuwa chapa hata na slippers, hata na nyaunyo.
Fimbo ina chapa. Fimbo chapa. Fimbo ina chapa. Fimbo.
Unacheka na nani? This time atucheki na nyinyi. Kutakuwa chapa hata na slippers, hata na nyaunyo.
Fimbo ina chapa. Fimbo chapa. Fimbo ina chapa. Fimbo chapa. Nye 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 nye. Hatutaki nye nye nye. Ukileta nye nye nye. Fimbo chapa.
Hizo chapa hivi ndio miutema, kabla wanishike watakuwa washahema. Tuliza boss, acha nye 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 nye. Dogo chapa, dogo bigi nina chapa. Nina chapa, siya tunatapa, vitu tunatoa grandpa, utasogopa.
TLMO chapa, mwanifota, mwanitaka, bomidomo, mtafyata, sexy misi baduki grandpa.
Shamir, chapa, utanipata wapi? Grandpa.
mjanja tena lazima itanibamba vimeja kijua vile maji mimfira nipatane na dima nijibeba alafu awe mjanja tena najua itanibamba vimeja mimi amua ni wewe kabisa hata kama ex wako najitisha na kwa maana wewe kimaisha nitakupa bila kukupima mtoto manze wewe umeiva wejua ni ukweli sio sifa kama urembo ungeua umeingi bila hata kujua attitude yako vile noma racing softy na umesoma mpaka mabuda wanatamani vile wanaweza penya ndani uking'aramini ufue nguo zangu wanajaribu kuchukulia mazao ukismail alafu wakulie vako wanashika dabu wanatoka kijua vile manze mifira nipatane na lima mechileba alafu mjanja tena lazima tanibamba vimeja kijua vile manze mifira nipatane na lima mechileba alafu mjanja tena
Kulitana kuliendaje aje kulitana nilikunywaje aje kulitana nilifanyaje aje yo wazee niambie kuliendaje kulitana kuliendaje aje kulitana nililewaje aje kulitana nilifanyaje aje yo wazee niambie kuliendaje saa 9 kamili nitakamili
Show me a gun, you them a run. You better relax and have some fun. You better feel, you better chill, you keep it real.
Me have to bring it when you ring it. Me have to sing it till you swing it. Me have to bring it, do your thing, girl. Some of the girls them not say ya na read it, girl. Them a 20.
Lyrical, yeah. Lyrical Enrico. The Shanky Radic. The remix. Abamika na ingoma noma. Kwa sababu tunaanza tutakoma. Na ino remix tumesafisha ya kuwakilisha na imetoka bombshell. Abamika na ingoma noma. Kwa sababu
I've achieved by winning 2 trophies, one in school and one at home. I'm acting for good.